Morning light, pressure on, still moving, still standing strong. Built this muscle over time, every step another climb. Years of focus, years of fire, vision sharper, aim set high, early grind, eyes wide clear. Earned this spot, we're still right here from the past to present tense. As every move builds confidence. They tried to slow it, tried to stall. We just raised the bar for all. Every round, just tune the engine. Now the signals coming in clear. Made us sharper, made us wiser. Built for weight, built for fire. If you're sitting in this seat, better fuel up, better eat. Old new, now what's coming next? Every chapter intersects. We don't pause, we don't fall. This is coreBLAST, standing tall. Foundation set, momentum strong. Map the road, we're moving on. What's in motion? What's ahead? Every word that needs to be said. First spark to what's in play. Clear direction, clear runway. Talking roots and talking rise. Big picture through a sharper lens. And before the moment's gone, there's more coming, moving on. Trained us, focus, refine. Every step was by design. What you hearing didn't come fast. It's the long view paying back. Made us sharper, made us wiser. Built for weight, built for fire. If you're sitting in this seat, better fuel up, better eat. Old new, now what's coming next? Every chapter intersects. We don't pause, we don't fall. This is coreBLAST, standing tall. This is coreBLAST, standing tall. Thank the grind, thank the days that demanded high stakes. Every mile increased the range, every challenge level gains. Now we talk what's moving forward. Freedom buying, friction lowering. Signals clear, momentum fast. Future loading, coreBLAST. Stronger mindset, fire the pace. Morning grind, no time to waste. This one runs, this one lasts. You don't rush, what's built to last. Old new, now what's coming next? All aligned, all in effect. Stand up straight, this is the call. This is coreBLAST, we stand tall. Standing tall. This is coreBLAST, we stand tall.
Wow. Was that cheesy? You like the applause?
I love the applause. I actually couldn't hear the applause, but if you say there was applause, there was applause. At this point, with all our technical issues, I mean, anything's possible, Joel.
Seriously, the last one we did, we did it early so that it would be a replay that we let everybody know about. It literally cut the music out that I had created.
What?
Yeah, I didn't even know they could do that, but it literally cut the music out as it's playing.
Wow.
Cut the music out, but you could still hear us talking. So at the very end, we're dancing. It's like, what are we even dancing to? There's no music. It was
wow.
Weird. Yeah. So
weird stuff going on, Joel.
Weird stuff, man.
Weird stuff. Weird stuff.
Very weird.
The world is a weird place right now. All kinds of technical issues. We had an issue Friday, so yeah. Lots of stuff going on.
Yeah, and the ACH thing with the Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happened. So
a lot of stuff in the world, but
we got
a good news side
now.
Yes, we do. I think you're in all seriousness. I've got a bit of a delay on your end. It's weird. So I can't look at you, Joel, because I've got a lag going on. You can hear me good, right?
Yeah. Count.
Yeah, it's my side. It's my side.
2, 3. Yeah. Yeah.
You just keep freezing. It's weird.
Uh-oh.
But we're not going to be looking at you or me anyway. So
No, we got other things to look at. But you got some exciting things.
Joel, well, I mean, first I got to tell everyone, hey, did everyone remember to move your clocks back?
Back forward.
Do you remember that, Joel? Forward. Yeah, spring forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, fall back.
You don't have to anymore.
Spring. Good, because it's stupid.
Yeah.
Like, why are we still doing this?
So that the farmers can have more light.
Mm. Yeah. Anyone ever hear of electricity?
Oh, the Amish haven't. Oh, yeah, they have. I'm just joking. If you're Amish out there, well, you're not. You wouldn't be watching this.
Do we have any Amish customers? Is there an Amish gun store somewhere? We need to go close them.
So epic.
I mean, we've got customers in all kinds of places. We should have an Amish customer.
Sure, we should.
Yeah.
The people watching are probably like, what have I transported myself into right now?
Hey, it's Sunday. I don't know how you decided to drag me into a coreBLAST on a Sunday. This is usually my my bum day. Sunday is bum day, Joel. Why am I here?
Sunday is blast day.
All right, let's do Sunday blast day.
Sunday
I like
blast
it. Hey, so Joel, you're not going to believe where I'm at. I actually sent you some photos.
All right. Would you like to see them?
Why not? Show off one of the photos.
I wonder if I can take us off the screen. Let's see what happens. Yeah.
Let's do it.
That
looks great.
Here's a photo.
Look at that.
You must be in Alabama.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, I recognize it.
So I am in Suzhou, China, which is outside of Shanghai. And why is Ezra here? I'm actually, so I don't know if I've told you, for our office in the Philippines, it's a very, very long flight, 15 hours. So I used to travel to the Philippines and would stop different places. And lately I've been flying straight from California to Manila. And this time I decided, hey, I'm going to make a stop and come back to China. So I haven't been to China since before COVID. And I'm here. Yes, it's I don't know, I guess it's 3 in the morning here, 3:25. I'm still on US time, so I'm always on US time, Joel.
Of course you are.
Yeah, and it's yeah, it's cool to be back to China. I haven't been back since before COVID, and it's really a neat. I think I told you it's a neat place to visit. That one photo, I don't know if you want to pull it back up. Not the pagoda. Well, that pagoda goes back hundreds of years. That tall one, and yeah, pull it back up. Yeah, that I don't even. I need to look at the actual history of that thing, but it's seeing it up front is live. I mean, the photo doesn't do it justice, and I know I sent you the photo that has the full pagoda. It's a massive structure. The one with the tree, there's a neat story about that tree, because that tree, Joel, is 400 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Mm-hmm.
And that is in the heart of Shanghai. It's a place called Yuan Garden that goes back to 1539. So, so much history here. It's interesting. I was talking to some of the locals. You don't find a lot of people that speak English, but I was talking to one of the locals, and Joel, they were saying their economy is still hurting from COVID, and that a lot of people had to move out of, because I was actually surprised, Shanghai being a massive city. It wasn't as crowded as I expected, and they were telling me that a lot of people had to move out of the city because of COVID. And now, of course, with the new war going on, they're really concerned about the oil situation. So I don't know. I travel the world, and one thing I learned, Joel, most people just want to live a nice, peaceful life. It's unfortunate that we can't get there. Um, I think it's sad, but absolutely magnificent place. Highly recommend. I know you don't fly, but maybe one day we'll get you on a boat and I'll meet you over here.
I
It'll
don't
take you
know.
about a year.
I don't want boats after I saw what they did to that Iranian ship. That's just golly. It's gonna be a frightening
Yeah,
way to
that
go.
was.
I was like all for boats, and now I'm like, yeah, maybe not.
Are you back to planes?
No, not at all.
Hell
You
no.
saw what happened
Yeah.
today at Kansas City, right?
No, I
Kansas City
didn't.
completely shut the airport down. The people that were on planes, they got them off and had them walk to the fence. They backed all the planes away from the concourses, like supposedly a
Oh,
bomb. So
oh
that
my gosh.
completely shut down. So there's no flights in or out of Kansas City.
Wow. Oh my gosh. And we are going to Kansas City, I think this week, because I believe that's where Gun Bros is, and they're opening a new range, and we're going to be there. Super exciting. We are launching our new scheduling module, and one of these core blasts, we will go over the complete scheduling module. We have, I think I told you, but maybe I didn't, Joel, but we now integrate into Action Target.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that in the last one briefly.
Yeah, super excited about that. So when someone comes into the counter, we can literally put them on the lane. When they're at the lane, they can order stuff directly through the Action Target system. And yeah, it's a complete, really nice integration between the two systems. So we're really excited about that. So we'll be going live with them. I think them and R&R Tactical are the first two with the Action Target integration. Dan, if you're watching this, Max on Shooting, I have you on the list. I know he reached out to me. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff. Cool. So I think today, my plan was to go over the contacts module, Joel.
Okay. You ready for it? Bam, look at
Yeah,
that.
I think I am. Oh,
You did it.
we both hit the button. You hit the button. You hit
No,
the
I didn't
button.
touch
That's
it.
fine.
No. Here, I'm gonna do it.
No, but it's not there. Oh, I did it.
Yeah. Did you see that?
I saw that. I'm taking us off the screen. Otherwise, I'm just going
I
to
like
keep
that better
looking at
because
you.
yeah, people I like looking at the screen.
Actually, it doesn't matter. Yeah, but people like seeing you, Joel. They don't want to see me.
No, they don't. They don't. I've seen the messages.
Cool. So before I start, Joel, one thing I wanted to go over a little bit because I know a lot of people are starting to actually use our new platform. It's pretty exciting. Last week we announced and not only did we announce, we rolled out, everyone has access to this. And I was talking to one of our customers, which is a really, really cool customer. He's been a customer of ours for quite a while. And I am pulling it up. I'm going to share my screen. This is something you don't know about, Joel, but we've got 10scan. So shout out to Michael and Chris from 10scan. It's 10scan.com. They have an incredible system that they developed, and I want to shout them out because we are going to build an integration. You know, Joel, we always like having options, and I know a lot of the NFA software and the software itself, Joel, out there, it's at times feels a little bit outdated, and not knocking anyone, but I don't want to be running software that looks like it's from the 90s. And I don't know why all these fingerprint folks are still living in the past, it seems. So yeah, 10scan. I had a demo of it on Friday. We are going to hold a webinar, so I want you to make sure this is making sure, Joel, that you're paying attention, which sometimes I know you ignore me, but I'm telling you now, we want to do a webinar with these guys because what they have put together is really phenomenal. They've got a self-serving kiosk. They've got a lot of features that, if you go to the features, I think they even have, it's cool. Yeah, they actually have a comparison with every single competitor of theirs, and they check all of the boxes. So TenScan, Michael's actually he's a CoreStore user and has been. I didn't know about him until he reached out and said, Ezra, I've been using your software, and we got tired of all the other solutions and decided to develop a new solution for NFA. And we were talking, and I had mentioned our new platform, and he goes, "What new platform?" This guy is Joel. He's an IT guy, right? So he's techie. And I go, Michael, we've been doing some webinars, and we know everyone's busy, and some people, they just sometimes see too much, communication from us, so they ignore everything.
Right.
But here's, I'm thinking, here's a guy, he's younger, he's techie, he's going to pay attention. And I go, Michael, you've got all these features you could be using for your new software, to track your leads and send out marketing. And I go, yeah, it's right in your CoreStore, right in the menu. And he goes, oh, wait, what was that, Joel?
No, I just said, oh.
Yeah. So he goes, oh, is that what that button does? And I'm like, Michael, yes, just click it. You're, of all people, here's a super techie guy. Now, what's cool, Joel, is look at this. It looks like our new stuff
Yeah,
is
it does.
meant to be, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exciting.
It's super exciting. So, tenscan.com. Definitely put that up. Hopefully, you put it up because pretty excited about this. And it won't take long. So we'll have an integration in the meantime. Again, everyone wanting, and what's really cool is they will work with you if you've already have the hardware, which we started talking to, a couple of other people. Again, we like giving our customers choices, and everyone says, no, you've got to buy the hardware. And I'm like, yeah, but a lot of customers have hardware that they already invested in. So yeah, these guys will work with you with your existing hardware, which is pretty exciting. So
That is cool.
yeah, super, super cool. So the point of that whole story was, even though, I think that people are actually, trying things out, they see something on their screen pop up, you would think you want to click it, but I guess sometimes you're just scared. You don't like change. So I highly encourage everyone, click away, try things out. The marketing module, as I mentioned, we released the email campaign, and you can send out emails. If you're a small business, you will not pay anything for using that marketing module because we give you up to 5,000 emails a month to send out, which a lot of small businesses, that's all they need, Joel. It's more than they need.
Yeah. Even if they have a large email list, they may not need to send emails to all those people that never respond.
Yeah. So you can do maybe a once a month broad email. You can do a once a week email to your customers, and all of that you can do by setting up audiences, and your audiences is based on your contacts, and your contacts is where all of the people you deal with live. That's the contacts module. I did want to point out, Joel, for everyone to, don't go there right. You can click it right now and you're going to be like, Ezra, there's nothing there. But keep an eye on the Resource Center. We are hopefully in the next couple of weeks going to start hitting it hard. And what I mean by that is we're going to start creating a lot of user guides, some tours, potentially some checklists. I don't know. I'm most excited about the guides, Joel, and about Ask Corey. So Corey will get a lot smarter in terms of, obviously we've baked in Corey throughout the system. So, you'll see here, I've got a first question, sample question is how do I add a new contact, right? I mean, Joel, you'll have to start playing with Corey and give me some feedback because I haven't fully made sure that, remember, Corey's another dumb robot, Joel. So
Sure.
we've got to make sure it has the right knowledge and the right training and that it's not imagining things, right? It's not hallucinating. It's not pulling its information from sources that may end up providing it wrong information. It's no different than, how do you educate a human? You've got to give them that information, right? That you want them
Right.
to learn. So again, we're dealing with infants, Joel,
The robots.
robots.
Very, very powerful
Hard.
infants.
Yeah. Very powerful infants. But you can ask Corey. The other thing I'm super excited about is the guides. And you'll see I have one here in draft mode. What I don't think I shared with you, Joel, is that's really exciting to me. And I don't know if I shared this, and you tell me because I don't like repeating myself, but I guess at times it's good to repeat myself, Joel, because not everyone gets to see every single broadcast of ours. The resource center, so I'll just show you, this is an example of a guide and I can just click it. It has 2 steps in it. It's not a very good guide because it's just me playing with this and I'm the one authoring this particular module. So it just has two steps in it. So this is our introduction to contacts. And the first thing is our dashboard introduction. And that has if you notice, a screenshot. Now I can't see this really well, so I can actually expand it and I might actually make that a little bigger, but I'll zoom in so you can see. So Joel, in case you didn't know, I love adding a lot of arrows
Yeah.
to screenshots, so I can actually annotate that. And then if I hit next, it'll take me to the next step, which you'll see here. The next step is actually a video. And with me talking, walking people through the actual dashboard. So again, that's not a real guide. I haven't published it. That was me testing the guide, and a couple of really cool things, Joel. All of this, the screenshots, the annotations, the screen recordings, all of that is actually built with Coreware.
Yeah,
Coreware,
that's amazing.
It's really amazing. If you think about it, it's like poof. So I'm using Coreware to build Coreware.
Right.
It's pretty wild. So we've got again our own screen capture. And why is that important, Joel? I mean, there's a million screen capture utilities out there. The reason why it's so important is because efficiency, right? And context. So by us creating a lot of these tools ourselves, we don't rely on third parties, which you know how I feel about third parties. And by the way, that video capturing does automatic zooms, based on where I'm clicking, which is really cool. And not relying on third parties and being able to bake in solutions directly into a singular platform makes it a whole lot easier for people to use a system, right? If I don't need third-party tools, it's also usually a lot cheaper because I'm not paying fees. So for example, we use a combination of solutions for our learning material. We've got our university, we've got, which is a platform called Learn Worlds. We've got screenshots using awesome screenshot and videos. Again, great product. We've used it for years. But all of this adds up. And for Coreware, it's, because we have so many employees, it adds up to hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. So it's helpful from a budget standpoint, but it's also helpful simply having everything in one place. I've always said, one throat to choke. In this case, I can choke my own throat if I run into an issue with one of the tools. So, so you're wondering why am I spending this much time, in the resource center? So again, because there's not much there, and everyone's going to be like, "Well, Ezra, there's nothing there." It's like, this sucks. So first of all, we're going to be adding a lot of things to it. We'll have some tours, we'll have some checklists. I may end up getting rid of, one of these if we see it's not helpful. To me, again, the guides are the most important, and we'll start introducing those really soon, because obviously we don't want to keep doing webinar after webinar after webinar. We want people to be able to, from within the platform, find the help they need.
Right.
Here's what's really exciting. Do you notice, and you may not notice, do you see where it says on here, admin?
I do.
Okay, so admin is where, I can actually, for example, go and set up a new guide, right? And here's my step. I can give the guide a name, right? I can say, hey, I'm going to do a guide on the resource center, right? I can choose what folder it's sitting in. There's the collections of different folders. And I can start defining steps, right? So in this case, I have 3 steps. Here's step 2, step 1, right? So it shows you, and then I can specify for each step, the title, it's a screenshot, I can record a video. So if I want to start recording a video, all of that's in the platform. And again, I know you're sitting there and saying, Ezra, who cares, right? Why do you care as a customer about the tool that I'm using to build the help files? So you want me to tell you why, Joel, or should we leave it a mystery?
I hope it has something to do with our customers being able to do the same thing.
Bingo. So this is
That's
what's so
huge.
powerful. It's huge. So I'm spending a lot of time on this because I think it's really important, and we know how frustrating it is when you need to contact support. It doesn't matter how good of support that you have access to. Most people want to just figure stuff out on their own, right? Well, the beauty is your employees, meaning your customer, you usually have at least 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 or 20 or 200 employees, right? Or 1,000 employees. We've got some large customers. Being able to provide your own guidelines on how to use a system, your system, right, that you're using in your business, because you're going to use it differently, right? You've got your own SOPs. You know what an SOP is, right, Joel?
Yep.
Some of our customers may not. Tell everyone what an SOP is.
Standard operating procedure.
Yeah. So, Joel, people will be able to create their own standard operating procedures on how to use Coreware in their businesses.
That's huge. That's exciting.
It's really exciting. So the tools that we're using, our customers are using, and that's pretty impactful. We as a business at Coreware are using Coreware. So your pain, your problems are literally our problems at this point. They're not just, oh, we can't relate, right? And we've always treated our customers' problems as top priority. Customer service for us is essential. It's what I say is what drives our business is customer service, because you can have the best solution in the world, but if you don't have good customer service, it literally doesn't mean a darn thing, right?
Right.
So we're doing everything we can to uh, really give our customers as many tools as possible to help you run your business more easily. So it's pretty exciting. So I'm super excited about it. I kind of pushed it a little to the side in terms of the functionality, but this past week I've been focusing more on it because I know a lot more customers are starting to use our systems, and we need the guides. We've got to get the information out there in terms of how to use and how to work through everything within the Coreware platform, because Joel, there's a lot to this platform. I don't know if you've figured that part out. There's a lot to it, and it's pretty exciting. All right, so that's a little bit about the resource center. So everyone keep your eyes out, and Joel, maybe remind me, at certain times in the blast, we can go to the resource center and see what we've added. Again, we've got several modules that customers are using. All of the modules up to the products module. You'll see contacts, marketing, scheduling, and services. And you'll also have access to payments. I don't think I even mentioned this, but be on the lookout. Websites is around the corner. So websites, and just to be clear, we're not fully replacing CoreForce yet, is the operative word. But if you are not leveraging distributor feeds, you'll be able to run your whole website from the website module. And that is coming before the end of the month, Joel. We're moving fast now. There's a lot of things that are coming. But I'll also tease and let everyone know it's a whole lot more than just websites. If you want to do landing pages, if you want to do forms, if you want to do waivers, if you want to do contracts, if you want to do membership agreements, all of that is actually in the website module. So be on the lookout. It's coming, and it's so good. It's so good. And we've got some really cool templates. And guess what, Joel?
What?
I'm just trying to see if you're paying attention, because you know me. I obviously you're not on screen, so I have no idea if you're just sitting out there in Arkansas enjoying the nice weather and letting me just go on and on and on. No, what's really cool, Joel, is you know how these days our customers with CoreForce, you've got limited capability of modifying your website and modifying the template, right?
Right.
Well, that's not true anymore. So you'll be able to go into templates. You'll have a list of templates here. And once you choose a template for your site, you'll be able to completely modify it to your heart's content. So super exciting. For those of you who are using CoreForce and you're not selling a lot, through distributor feeds, because I've said it a million times before, there's, 3,500, 4,000 sites all doing the same thing.
Right.
Drop ship. We can drop ship anything, which has some value to it. But, I talked to one customer last week, and they were like, Ezra, we just want to feature what we have in our store. We just want to build up more traffic to our store. And when people come in, we can tell them, hey, we can order anything, and there's no transfer fees. So yeah, distributor feeds, if it's your thing, great. We certainly support it. But if you just want to set up your website, or you could have a two websites, right? You could have your CoreForce website and then your base, website that's featuring your store, and you can use your CoreForce distributor website for, your warehouse, right? If you want to show it that way. So yeah, there's plenty of options. And again, we'll be upgrading CoreForce as well. So we'll be working on our distributor feeds shortly. So that's pretty exciting. And yeah, maybe next time I'll tell everyone a little about the Armory.
Yeah, that would be exciting.
Yeah, it's coming. It's magical. Yeah, it's going to be nice. So, Joel, let's talk a little about contacts. And contacts, for us is, again, where we manage our relationships with people. And what I mean by people is that can be anything from our customers, our prospects. Prospects sometimes can be leads or actual prospects. The difference is a lead is more what I call a suspect rather than a prospect. So a lead might be someone that I think they might benefit from doing business with me, but I'm not sure because I haven't really qualified them, right? So I don't really know if they're a true prospect yet. You can manage your suppliers, and then you can manage your employees using the contacts module. all of that is mixed into one, right? So all I need to do to access the contacts module is click on contacts. That's the obvious statement of the day. So in terms of, I'm actually going to start with going over the dashboard first, and then I'll talk a little about the setup of the contacts module, and then we'll go from there. So you'll notice here that we've got different panels of data, and these you'll be able to modify these to some extent. Right now, they're just static. And what I mean by static is you can't really manage them. It's a little different than the service module. Our service module has a full dashboard, and you can really manipulate what tiles you have on the screen. And we'll apply that to the contacts module as well. But at the top, it will show you the total number of contacts. And Joel, what we do here is, if you think of a business, right, that's selling, a retail business, just any retail business, typically most retailers have two different types of entities that they sell to, right? There's individuals and there's businesses, right? And you're probably thinking, Ezra, well, a lot of our customers are gun stores. They're just selling to individuals, right? Because when you buy a gun, you're an individual. I would argue that potentially your business customers at times are more important, because Joel, if you're a gun store, you're typically dealing with whether it's a church, your local law enforcement, your local what am I thinking, Joel? Your local emergency services. Again, whether you run a range or a gun store, you've got businesses that you're doing business with. So it is important to distinguish the two, right? Because you do want to know that, hey, this particular individual, works for this business, and that particular individual may work for a couple of businesses. So the contact management system separates those. So you'll see immediately in my total contacts, I show our total individuals and total businesses. Now you'll see this orange beaming light here. This is an example. It's an example of a hotspot. So back to our resource center, hotspots, you can add hotspots, and I think even our customers potentially can add hotspots. I think it was designed that way. I should know because I designed it, but Joel, sometimes I forget everything that I put into the system. These are clickable, so it just gives you more information. We'll be adding more of those. So be on the lookout for, our little beacons. A beacon of hope. That's my one test one. Yeah. So you'll notice also before the hotspots that they would show all the time, but now that I'm scrolling, it disappears, which is nice. It doesn't stay on the screen. I've got my total number of customers, how many new customers I've had this month, and how many year to date, how many have churned, meaning how many customers have I made inactive, or their subscriptions are not active. And subscriptions we'll talk about. Obviously, subscriptions normally apply to ranges because you're selling a membership, right? And you'll see at the top of my screen, we have memberships there. But subscriptions actually and memberships, there's more and more retail stores that are looking to add to their business and have some predictable income, right? Everyone wants to get into the recurring game because that's typically money that you can just count on month to month to month. So we've had some retailers that have started looking at doing memberships for their retail store. Think of a buying club where customers can get special discounts. So maybe you pay $25 a month, and part of that is you'll be first to be notified of the latest firearms that are coming into stock, and you also get a 5% discount on ammo and some other benefits. So that's essentially the idea of having memberships. And prior to this, within Coreware, you'd have to have the advanced edition of CoreForce to have memberships and to have subscriptions and to do classes. Now it's all part of this platform. It's all part of it, Joel.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Did I just wake you up?
Oh no. How long was I out?
I don't know. I just keep going, Joel. I
Here,
just keep going.
so you can see I'm here. I'm here.
Oh,
I'm here.
yay. Wow, you're not even laying down.
No, I'm here, everybody.
Yay. Hi, Joel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so when you talk about a churn, a lot of times churns relate more to subscriptions, because when a subscription ends, that's, you've churned. I don't know, maybe you can look up the definition of the word churn, but basically you've lost that recurring income, right?
Right.
And Joel, what do you think of retailers offering a membership? I'm being serious. Do you think that's a
It's
good
just
thing?
it's just another way for them to create some more revenue. Like literally.
Yeah.
And it probably requires very little effort, because we all know when we buy memberships, we really don't get the full benefit out of all the stuff we're paying for. So your customers are the
Yeah.
same, but if they do, they do. I mean, that's good. You're offering a service that maybe your competition's not.
Yep. Very much so. So we have our number of prospects, number of suppliers. I don't have any suppliers. I'm just running on some demo data here. How many new this week? And then below that, so that's our quick stats. I should mention, and we'll actually play with this. You'll see I've got no follow-ups, but we'll talk about follow-ups and what you can do with all of that. Below that, we've got our directories. And I think last webinar, I showed a little bit about the directories. We'll go through them in more detail today. Below that, we've got our pipeline overview. Now, again, a lot of customers, I think, will brush this off and go, Ezra, why do I need a pipeline? I'm a retail store, right? I'm not tracking opportunities. And I actually would argue that your pipeline is something that is important for your business. I know a lot of gun stores, for example, offer custom work, right? And Joel, maybe you can elaborate a little about how you think, leveraging being able to provide a proposal or an estimate, and creating a pipeline. I think it's helpful. Again, sometimes I'm not, I have opinions that may not be relatable because I come from very much, I've been in the retail and firearms industry for decades, but I don't operate a store, and I don't, I'm on the tech side of things. But Joel, what's your thoughts?
I think for people that build custom guns, it would be great. Or
Yeah,
gunsmiths, obviously, that do, major work. And it may be hard for gunsmiths, because I think that that's not the
I
mode,
would agree.
but I think it's powerful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's definitely useful. I know also another use case for that is a lot of times government entities, local government entities, again, law enforcement, whatever it might be, they actually put things out for bid, right? And maybe you're bidding out an event for them because you're going to let them use your range, and you want to include all the information. That's where your pipeline can come in, because if you track your pipeline, um, I was literally just giving Joshy a hard time, right? Because we had such a crazy busy SHOT Show, and we haven't had time to put in all of our leads and track our pipeline. And I'm like, Josh, remember you were talking to so-and-so and said they sounded really interested. He goes, oh yeah, I should contact them. So this helps you avoid that.
Right.
All right. So you've got some shortcuts here where you can add a new contact, view all contacts. Again, I can just use the menu above here, so it's a bit redundant. I've got a breakdown of, in this case, I've got mostly prospects, no leads, just 25 customers, no suppliers, no employees. And then I show the breakdown of by entity type, individual versus business. So again, I can add a business as a contact and then add individuals to that business. I've got some data quality here, which is nice. This scan actually helps me go through and search for duplicates, and then I have the ability to merge duplicates. Again, as you accumulate data, there's always duplicate data in the system. That can happen if people change their address, change their email, change their phone. A lot of times we'll end up with duplicates. In this case, it didn't really find any duplicates. I've got recent activity here and my data completeness, which tells me, hey, you've got all of these contacts, but I have quite a few that are missing what we consider as vital information, whether it's missing emails, missing phone numbers, missing physical addresses. So it just gives you some stats there. So I can quickly add a new contact by clicking new contact here, and we'll be doing that in a minute. But I just want to go through the settings for this particular module. All right. So we've got, in this case, 4 groupings of settings. I've got general, employee, settings, which again, that seems redundant, Joel. That's like products in CoreForce, which drives me crazy. So we probably need to reconfigure that. And we've got utilities here. So the setting screens on every module are the same. If you are a user of Coreware and you do not see settings, that means that you are not set up as a system administrator. And every user should be set up as a system administrator that is the admin currently in CoreStore. So if for some reason you don't see that, and this is good information for our support, and Joel, obviously our service staff needs to be watching this and paying a lot of attention. But I'll make sure to show when I talk about employees, I'll show everyone where you modify that information. All right, we'll just start with general, and seems to be a lot here, and I'm not going to go through every single one of these because this is just where you maintain your lists of information, right? So the nice thing is you can have contact categories. So you might want to assign different categories for your customers. And that's also good from a reporting standpoint. So if you want to separate, I don't know, maybe you want to say I've got, regulars and, I hate to do this, but your VIP customers, your friends and family, whatever, you can actually use categories to maintain different categories. In this case, these categories really don't make sense. Again, this is just my demo data because I already have a separation between customers and suppliers, right? But here I have a VIP customer category. So to add a new category, all I have to do is just enter a name of the category and hit create. So I'll create the PETA customers category. Joel, I'm trying to see if you're paying attention.
When you say PETA, are you talking about the animal things?
No. I'm talking about the Middle Eastern, that bread, that flat bread.
Right. Okay. It's people that like PETA. That's good.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say you
Yeah.
misspelled it unless it means people for the insane treatment of animals.
Oh, man. To delete, you can just hit delete there. I'll delete my controversial category. I was waiting for you to react, Joel. Wow. It's really easy to maintain my list of information. Customer tags, again, a tag you can actually assign a color to. So you can choose from different colors. And tags, again, they're a good way to separate information, but a lot of the tags that were used in CoreStore, we used to call them smart tags, are now handled by audiences. So you can actually end up reducing the tags that you normally would use, because audiences takes care of a lot of the ability to segment your customers based on purchasing history, based on demographics, based on other information that's you're tracking. And again, I say customers, it's all your contacts, right? Can be separated via audiences. So tags, you can have the difference between tags and categories. You can have one category assigned. I think you can have one category. Yes, I'm pretty sure it's, and we'll double check, but you basically have one category for a customer where you have multiple tags for, you can assign multiple tags to any contact, right? So again, I say customer because that's my old habits. Really, it's contacts. I have to fix my old habits and stop just saying customers.
Right.
So that's tags. Oops, I hit the wrong button. I've got touchpoints. So touchpoints, a touchpoint. Oh, well, contact types I skipped, but these are the built-in contact types. And you can add contact types, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's a good idea. So we may end up just forcing this to be just system types that stay this way. I don't even need lead, because really a lead is a prospect with a different qualification status. So I have to make a mental note to probably not have the screen available, because I think contact types, we've made them pretty intelligent in terms of what they do. So I would recommend not maintaining different contact types, because again, I would just use categories and tags. So that might be a fix that I'll take care of this weekend. Touchpoint types. So when I'm communicating with my contact, I can actually record the complete interaction with that contact. Now, a lot of times, especially when you're dealing with customers, you're going to use the service module. And we will have a webinar on the service module. I say this week, Joel.
Okay.
Wow. A, took you long enough to respond to me. B, can we get that a little more enthused? So we're going to rewind here. I know we're running live, but we're all going to imagine we're in a studio. Hey, Joel, I think we're going, we should have a webinar on the service module this week.
Sure, Ezra, what day?
I don't know. Talk to Oki. We need Oki there. That was awesome, Joel. Yeah, the service module is where you want to track any customer request. So the distinction is my touch points is, they're not necessarily related to an actual action that I need to take, although you can have a follow-up, right? So when you're dealing with, let's use the example. Your local police department comes in and says, hey, we have an event. We'd like to use your classroom for this event. And, we need a proposal. That's a perfect example of when you're using the contacts module, right? Because you're creating a proposal, you're doing touch points, you're tracking when they came in, what the follow-up is, etc. But the scenario of a customer coming in or contacting you and saying, hey, I've got an issue with something that I purchased, when can I come in and show you the problem, that's already becomes a service request, right? Because that will turn into a potential work order, and work orders fall under the service module. So that's how you distinguish the two. Does that make sense, Joel?
Yes, Ezra.
Okay. No, and I want to make sure, because everyone's going to give me shit. They're like, Ezra, why are you giving Joel so much shit? But I'm serious that I use Joel as my sounding board, because sometimes I can confuse people. So I want to make sure that the distinction between when do I use touch points and when do I use service requests, makes sense. So seriously, Joel, did I explain that
Yes.
well?
You did.
Okay. Because I know we've had confusion even within Coreware, because people are like, well, Ezra, I got a call from a customer and they were trying to get a hold of, and get their onboarding going. And I'm like, yeah, that's a service request, right? That's not, we're not just tracking, just a fact that they touched base with us.
Right.
And that, hey, I should call them, in 2 weeks and make sure that things are still going good, right? That's a touch point. But if there's an action, in the case of Coreware, I just bought your software, haven't heard anything from onboarding. Let's make sure we got a service request in, so our onboarding teams, puts you in the schedule and knows that we have to move to the next step.
Right.
So that's the distinction between the two. So we talked about opportunity sources. Again, this one is very. It's actually, I should talk about this. It's really powerful because we actually use this for ourselves at SHOT Show. So if we've got anyone exhibiting at SHOT Show, we have customers that are manufacturers. Even if you do gun shows, your opportunity sources can be really beneficial to track. Where did you come from, right? Where did this customer come from? Did they come from the gun show that I went to, or did they come from a class that I conducted, or did they just call in, right? So that's the idea of lead sources. But what's interesting is I've got quite a few lead sources, and again, you can maintain them. So these are just built-in ones, and you can delete them. You can make them inactive if you want. Maybe, let's see, I know there's one. Let's say you don't do print media, right? So obviously you can just deactivate that. But do you notice how it shows has details? So this is what's interesting. So let's say I'm a manufacturer, small manufacturer, and I go to trade shows, right? I go to dealer shows and conferences. So I can edit this, and you'll notice there's this option enabled details, Joel.
Yes.
So what that does, if I turn that off, you'll notice it's a very simple, right? It's just the lead source. It's trade shows, right? But think about this. You're a manufacturer. You're doing how many dealer shows does a manufacturer do? I mean, probably a dozen throughout the year, not counting SHOT Show if you're in the firearms industry. So this is where, if you enable details, which a lot of our customers, even the retailers, you're going to gun shows, this is where you can actually add events. So Joel, you remember at SHOT Show, we were using Coreware to scan badges.
Yes.
And this is where that's maintained. So you'll notice it says Merits Global Events, right? So that's actually our scanning. The SHOT Show NSSF gets together with a company called Merits. I think that's the company name. And they're the ones that provide the badge scanning technology, right? We could interpret the QR code, but I think it's coded special. So, you're best off to actually use the show's services. But this is what enabled us to scan badges. And we didn't use a third-party scanning system. We used Coreware. And we actually pulled all that information in, scanned the badge, and actually created leads. So you're probably, again, wondering, Ezra, why are you harping on this and going on? Because every manufacturer, or again, if you're a retailer, you do, and if you're a retailer that goes to gun shows, you want to track your lead sources. You want to be able to go back and say, hey, I talked to you at this gun show and you were looking, I know you had mentioned that you were looking for, Joel, help me out here. What would someone be looking for that's hard to get?
A widget.
Oh my God, Joel! I was hoping you'd say some cool gun thing. Wow, you suck.
A 9mm widget. There you go.
There you go. The latest 9mm widget, which you don't have, but you know you're getting some, right?
Right.
So you quickly want to, you want to pull out your phone or your computer and add that person as a contact, and make sure you add some notes, and you can actually choose, if you set it up beforehand, hey, I met them at this particular gun show. Because Joel, how cool is it when you call someone and say, hey, I got the widget, the 9mm widget you were looking for. Remember me? I met you at, the September uh, 2025
Widget
Kansas City
exhibition.
gun
Yeah.
show. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
So will our customers, because I'm sure most trade shows have a way or they provide something like Merritt's provides. Will our customers be able to
So
work with those companies?
yeah, I mean, gun shows don't, right? Because gun shows,
Right.
your consumers visiting, they don't have a badge or anything.
Right.
But we're going to talk about that. Actually, that's a good lead in to something. And since we're on this topic, I'll veer off briefly, but just to show you a really cool feature, one of those core pal moments. So currently we only support Merits because that's the only one that
Right.
we've encountered. I encourage our manufacturers, if customers and anyone else that goes to shows, that if there's other scanning solutions for trade shows that are used. I mean, Merits happens to be a very big company that does a lot of events, but if there's others, we certainly can add support for the others. So bring it on. And for those manufacturers, looking for a good system to track your leads at these shows, again, Coreware is an incredible solution for that. All right, so the nice thing again is, I can actually do scanning, and this is the scanning badge scanner solution, right? I just click that QR code and I can just start scanning badges, which is really cool. So, and I can type the badge name. We won't spend too much time on this. But again, I've got all of my scanning capabilities here. This camera. So if I had a QR code, I would do QR code, boom, and it would scan the badge. Obviously, there's no information that it can do, but this was really nice. I mean, we used this throughout SHOT Show, Joel, and it was cool.
Yeah, it was super fast as well. Like super fast when you're scanning.
So going back to our contacts, just the main page, just to show you, if I click on contacts.
Before you go.
Yeah.
Because you were going to cover if somebody's at a gun show.
Oh yeah, I'm going back to that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, hey, thank you. But that's exactly why I'm here, because I'm going off on a segue.
Okay.
Yes, so if someone's at a gun show, right? And again, a lot of times at gun shows, I know customers, they don't just sell to consumers. Sometimes there's another attendee of the gun show there that is looking, you do business together, right? Sometimes it's, I don't know, maybe it's a manufacturer coming along and introducing themselves. There's all scenarios where obviously you're not wearing badges at gun shows. Here's a cool thing, Joel. On the contacts module, you can actually scan business cards.
There we go.
So that's really cool because, again, I can either upload a business card or turn on my camera and show a business card. I don't know if this will work, but I'll take a picture. I don't think this will work, but this will be a good test.
It says card ready.
Yeah, it's processing. So I'll keep talking while it's doing
Is this
this. I don't.
something
Oh,
people
there
will
we
be able
go.
to? There you go.
Hey, look, it worked.
Is this
Bam.
something that people will be able to use on their phones?
Look at that, Joel.
It
Yes.
brought
How
it on.
cool is that, Joel?
That's huge.
Man, that's so cool. I love when things work.
I do too.
Wow. Yay. I just didn't know if it would work with all the noise in the background to that photo, right?
Right.
Because there's my hand, there's the background, and it shows me it was able to scan it, and the quality was high. So yeah, and then all I need to do, right, is I can actually just say, hey, this is, let's say, a supplier, right? Or this is a prospect. Hit save. And bam, we are good to go. So, um, so that's a really powerful way to capture contacts. A lot of people walk around with business cards, especially at at shows where they're trying to conduct different business. So this allows them to. I don't know why it's thinking away for so long, but oh dang, I'll have to take a look. Again, I'm running on my local, which isn't surprising, but you get the idea.
Yes.
The hard part it did, and then it wouldn't even save it. So we'll have to play with that. One other way to scan cards is you can literally use your phone and just scan that QR code, and that will actually let you use your phone to take a photo of the business card. So we showed that capability and with the work orders, which is really nice. So you can scan a QR code while you're putting in a work order and use your phone to take photos of the item that you're repairing.
Right.
So when the customer's there and they're saying, hey, I need this, my trigger's not working properly, and there's a big scratch on that on that gun. You definitely want to grab a photo of that so they don't come back saying, what did you do to my gun? I didn't have
Right.
that scratch there. Not that anyone would ever do that, Joel.
No, not at all. People are honest.
Not at all. Oh yeah, totally. Wow. All right. So back to our opportunity sources. So that's kind of rolling things back, but that's where I set up where I encountered that contact. Churn reasons, again, if typically it's for membership slash subscriptions. We support memberships, but you can still have subscriptions without memberships. Does that make sense, Joel?
Yes.
So membership has a subscription typically. But if you're doing a buyer's club, you don't need to set up memberships for that, right? It's just my subscription for my buying club,
Right.
right? Now, if you want to set up at your range, your platinum, gold, and silver memberships, or your whatever you want to call them, your elite, sub-elite, and losers.
Right.
Okay, another test, Joel. I'm glad you're going along with me. You would set up those as memberships, right?
Right.
Custom fields. Again, another powerful concept. I can have as many custom fields for my contacts that I want to set up. You can set up groups of custom fields, and within that group, you can just add, any additional fields. So, oh my gosh, my creativity is not there. What would be a good group? I don't know, demographics. Create that. So now I have a group, and in this case, I have no fields under that group. So I can add a new field, and I'll call it favorite color. such a stupid custom field. See, this is where I sometimes need your help, but you'd come up with even a lamer idea like widget.
Yeah.
Ezra, call it the widget custom field.
No, the color of the widget custom field.
There you go. When you create custom fields, you can actually choose the field type, whether it's a just plain text, a number, a decimal, checkbox, a date, a selection, or a multi-selection, right? So we'll do selection. This is such a stupid example, Joel. I hate you.
I told you, it's the favorite color of the widget is what you should have called it. But it's all right.
Oh my God. Right. And ooh. Oh. Oh, it's not, my active field isn't there. So basically you can set up as many custom fields for your contacts as you want, and they'll show up when you're adding or updating a contact. All right, let's move on from custom fields. I think that was it as far as general. Back to our settings. Let's talk about our, I don't even remember what's here, our settings, which I need to change. Oh, these are actually important. This is where you can choose what's required. So, for example, for us as a business, we really require an email address for dealing with contacts in the least. Ideally, we want a phone number. We don't want to require address. I don't think anyone would, but this lets you specify what's required and what's not. You also have some pipeline settings here, and your pipeline, when you're creating a proposal, you can actually either choose from your already set up product list and subscription list, or you can freeform type, which again, for our customers, I think having that freeform is important because sometimes you're doing something out of the ordinary at your retail store. Again, a lot of our customers have a classroom in their retail store, and you're sitting on empty space that you want to be able to leverage. So you may rent it for various different types of events, and based on the event, you may end up providing a service that normally you don't have set up in the system. So you want to be able to freeform type that. You can also manage your what we call stages of opportunities, right? And what we mean by stages is when you've got, again, I'll use the law enforcement example. When you've got the example of the law enforcement coming in and asking to use your venue, you may actually want to track, what stage of the proposal are they at? Are they just at a lead? Are they qualified? Is it a proposal, negotiation? Again, you may just want to eliminate all of these and go from, Ezra, all I want to track is they're in proposal and whether we won or lost it, right? So you can just, again, add as many stages as you want or delete any that you want. So again, I'll delete negotiation, for example, because we go from a lead to qualified to a proposal and whether it was won or lost. And I'll show you the pipeline's pretty cool how it works. And it's kind of fun because you can move the contact from stage to stage to stage. And you can look at your overall opportunities. And what we do is we assign a probability, right, of what's the likelihood that this will turn into real revenue. And you can actually edit the probability, right? So maybe for me, the minute I get a lead, that's pretty likely that I'm going to do business with them. So I won't, it's more than a 10%, so I'll update it to 20%. And I'll just update that stage to 20. And if they're qualified, that means, hey, you know what? That's a much higher probability. I'm going to put that at a 40, right? And proposal. Oh, if I gave them a proposal, I'm closing this sucker. It's much higher. Okay, why is this important? because you think, Ezra, you're just playing with some percentages. Well, this is important if your business does do a lot of custom work, if you're doing a lot of, again, estimates / proposals. If you're just doing a work order estimate, that's one thing. We're talking about an actual proposal where you're doing something that's not ordinary to your business. So you've got a really nice classroom, you're holding different events, you want to send out proposals because you've got, let's say you're a range, you've got a range, a classroom, and you do custom events, during these days of the week, and you want to track any of these proposals that you sent out because you provide, you'll provide even refreshments, or I don't know, maybe you do magic on the side and you want to do the magic show. Again, super bad example, but the fact of the matter is if you want to track your business opportunities that are not your normal type of business, meaning you're sending out proposals, this is where all of the pipeline's important. And why these numbers are important is because from a prediction of revenue standpoint, you want to be able to predict in the next 6 months, how much money am I bringing in from these opportunities? And if I've got 5 opportunities, right, and they're each worth $1,000, so bear with me here, Joel, we're going to do some math, right?
No.
So five opportunities, $1,000 each, makes $5,000 over the next 6 months that I should get,
Right.
right? But if they're all leads that I haven't qualified and haven't given a proposal to, it's really only, in this case, I don't know if I'm going to convert them. So I don't really have $5,000 of money that I can count on. I've got 1,000, right? Because I've got 20% likelihood.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
But if one of them moves to, hey, you know what? I sent this guy a proposal, right? So I'm going to do a math test.
Uh-oh.
Joel, if one of the 5 is now in proposal stage, what do you think are, and again, it's what did I say? $1,000 each, right?
Mhm.
So I think I already used the wrong numbers. No, it's so what I said was if all 5 are a lead, I've got $1,000 worth of opportunity. But if I've got 4 of them in lead, right, and one of them at proposal stage, instead of the $1,000, I'm actually sitting on how much? Dun, 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 dun,
You're
dun,
waiting for
dun,
me? You're
dun.
not gonna
We need the Jeopardy music.
There is no way I'm gonna give you an answer because it's wrong.
Oh my God, it's 1,500. How did I get 1,500, Joel?
You divided it and multiplied something, and then added it and subtracted somewhere else.
So 4 of the leads are at
Right.
20%. So that's 200 apiece, right? So that's $800.
Right.
Right? Because each opportunity is 1,000. But one of them is at 70%, which is at 700. So 800 plus 700. 1,500.
Yeah.
Boom.
So you basically, yeah, you did. I was right. You divided,
Yeah,
multiplied,
you were 100% right.
and added. So
Yeah. Yep. You did
came up with the
amazing.
answer. Yeah, you didn't give me enough time. We'd be sitting here for a week still.
Yeah. So one of the reasons that we keep kind of holding off on creating, a lot of help is because we are changing things pretty rapidly and making things easier. So this video will already be obsolete shortly after, not completely. I want to be careful with my words here, but parts of this, right? Because I already don't like the fact that we have settings. It makes no sense. I'm going to reorganize a little bit, probably put these 2 things in our general and just have general employee and utilities. So just a heads up, the good news is we just keep trying to keep things, easy and simple. But yeah, I don't know why I separated those. All right, let's talk a little about employees as far as configuring employees, because I've got a lot of information here. Again, I won't go through each. I said I wouldn't go through each one before, and I think I did, because there's a lot of exciting stuff. But for employees, you can actually track teams, and you can manage who is on what team. So that's a nice feature. So in this case, I've got a billing team, I've got a customer service team, I've got a sales team. And again, I don't have any employees in here in this data. So I've got just the teams created, and I'll show you how to create an employee. Now, word of warning, it will show that I have some employees, but I've been messing around with this data, which is, I think, why sometimes it's not behaving, because I'm kind of Frankensteining some of our data at times for I probably should be using a demo site as opposed to this is just my playground that I use when I'm coding all of this. So but teams, again, you can set up different teams. You can set up your sales team, your accounting team, your purchasing team, whatever teams you want to set up. If you've got a small store and you only have 3 employees, I wouldn't set up a team, right? You don't need to, doesn't make sense. To create a team, again, you just scroll down and hit create. If you want to just edit your team, you can just click on any of these teams to edit the information. So pretty straightforward. For your team, you can specify your team name, your description, and the color of the team, and whether it's active or not active, and then you can actually assign employees to that team, and you can choose who the team leader is. All right, so back to our employee setup. We've got our time clock settings, and Joel, I'm not ready to go over. We did a quick video of time clock.
Right.
There's a lot to this. How long have I been going, by the way?
An hour and 21 minutes.
Nice. I don't want to delve into the time clock at this point, so we'll probably do that as maybe even a separate video. There's actually a lot to the time clock. I definitely would put a link to our video on time clock video that we did. Again, there's all kinds of options here in terms of our time clock capability. I'll reserve that for another time. We can set up employment types, part-time, full-time, etc., departments, divisions, job titles, job ranks, and I'll talk about permission templates in when I go through showing everyone how to add an employee. Again, the employment types, departments, they're all the same, just very straightforward. You can set up all your different departments, not much to these, just a name, description, and you can assign a permission template to a department, meaning if you've got a lot of employees, you've got different departments, and you're setting up Coreware, you may want to have some default permissions for each department. This way you don't have to set up the permissions for every single employee. All right, so that's so again, you can just go in, enter all that information, as little or as much as you want to use the system. One of the things with Coreware is we're moving more towards providing a lot more management features for employees. And again, remember, employees are just treated as contacts, right? They're another contact type. Obviously, with employees, you've got a lot more information that you may track that you normally don't track for other contacts, which is why it has its own primary page to go to for maintaining employees. All right, let's go to the last one, Joel, utilities. So from a utility standpoint, the first thing that you get to see is you have the ability to geocode addresses. And Joel, do you know what that means?
I thought the address was the geocode. So no, I have no idea what that means.
No, that's a good point. An address is in a way a geocode, but typically your maps need to be the most accurate. A map typically will use longitude and latitude uh, to narrow down on a specific location. So you know how you have maps that show pins in them?
Right.
We've all seen that. I'll talk about this when we talk about the directory, but if you've imported data, right, into our system, so you imported your contacts and they have an address, we won't necessarily automatically set the longitude and latitude. So you can always go into utilities and geocode your addresses. And this will show you, in this case, I've got 188 pending. I've got many that failed. Again, I've got just bogus data in here. There's a lot of demo data in here, but I do have 8 that got geocoded properly. So that's good. I've got migration information here. Really, I would not touch any of this, and I probably need to hide it. This is for us when we're moving, or I don't want to say move, but when we're onboarding customers to the new platform, automatically your core store customers will end up, and suppliers will end up showing in here. So if you're currently using core store and you've got the Coreware, you've accessed Coreware, the new platform, right from your core store menu, you'll see a Coreware menu option. You should see your customers and suppliers already in here. If for some reason you don't, you can try to migrate them yourself, but I would recommend just contacting support and we'll figure out what's going on. So again, I think I'll probably end up hiding these because we don't want any confusion there. So really, mostly under utilities, you'll pretty much see the address geocoding. And I'll talk about that when I talk about directories, which I think I'll talk about next. All right. Joel, I need a little water break. Tell us something. How's our audience doing? I know we have hundreds of people watching. Everyone excited? Everyone bored?
Oh yeah, man.
Millions of questions coming in?
No. Well, yeah, I'm responding to them all.
Cool.
Tons.
All 2 people who have nothing to do on a beautiful Sunday watching our broadcast, which we were late for, thanks to our friends in the Middle East.
Who's friends?
I don't know.
This
world, Joe. Joel, this world. I just called you Joe.
Maybe I'm acting like him. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about directories. So again, your directories will show up in your dashboard, and I'll show you where they are. So these are the directories that I have set up. And directories are actually really powerful. And I'll just show you under here. I've got 3 directories, which those are the 3 that show up in our dashboard. And I've got 3 defined. I've got a customer directory, a customer map, and an employee directory. So if I look over here, I can actually preview the directory. I can also edit the directory. Have an org chart feature. Again, that's more for if you've got an employee directory right here. And again, keep in mind, I don't have any employees right now, but we'll probably add an employee. So I can also create a directory. So let's just go ahead and create a new directory. In this case, we can create a prospect map, right? And call it prospects, give it a description if I want to. Do I want this directory to show up internally, public, or make it private? Internal means any user in Coreware can see it. Private means only specific users would be able to see it. And then I can choose a layout. Is it a grid, meaning like it's showing in a grid view, a list view, which is just, one lines, cards, or organizational chart, right? So I can just say cards, and I can choose, hey, I want to show just all prospects. And I can do some further filtering. If it's employees, I would choose, if I want just a directory of my IT people, for example, I could choose that. But let's go ahead and create this directory. Now, once a directory is created, I actually have some other options that are available. So here's my prospects. So I can actually edit it. And then you'll see there's a lot more options here, Joel. I don't know why I'm running so slow. Joel, is it updating? Oh, here we go. Finally updated on your end. All right. So you'll notice here's the information that I typed in description. I can choose whether it's active or not, right? Because you want to keep it inactive until it's ready. Might be, I've got 12,000 prospects. That could be why was taking its time. You've got your display mode, right? And you can just try any of these and, choose how you want to display it. But I want to point out, this is really cool, the map view, right? The map view, again, you have to make sure the addresses are geocoded, but that will show you a map and will actually place the pins on the map, which is really cool. But you can also show it as, I don't know, we'll keep the modern grid here. Again, the layout settings, you can choose whether it's in list view, card view, grid view, or organizational chart. If you're doing an employees, you can choose how many cards show, right? In the grid and card mode, you can choose how many cards show up along each row. You can choose if it's employees, whether you're grouping by department. And here's where you can also choose what information are you showing. Do you want to show a photo, job title, if it's employees, phone number, location, social links, tenure, departments, nicknames, email addresses? So you've got all these features here. You can also change the appearance, right, in terms of your different colors, and you've got different backgrounds that you can do here. You've got your dark mode and light mode, right? Always remember, you can always switch to light mode in Coreware. Oof.
It's actually called
Blinded by the light.
It's called dark mode and wrong mode.
Yeah, you and Colt, you guys hate light mode. I switch between the two. All right, and then you can do further filters, right? You can actually say, hey, I only want certain contacts in my directory. And then you've got some additional features. Do you want to put a search bar at the top? Do you want AI insights into it? An alphabet filter? So again, this is something you can just play with. The nice thing is, if you've got a range and you want to set up, let's say, a directory of all your members, right? That's beneficial. You can say, again, I think an employee directory is a no-brainer. You always want to be able to quickly pull up your directory and see, how do I get a hold of Joel? I want to quickly email him, when's his birthday, etc. So all of that information is really useful. That's what directories are for. And then once you save it, you can actually go in and you can do a few things. You can preview, but we also have a direct link for the directory, right? So for some reason you want to maybe have a directory published. Here's our list of, I don't know, what would be something you would publish, Joel?
Something about widgets.
Yeah, if you want your public widget directory, right, you can actually choose to publish that. Oh my gosh. Your widgets.
Widgets are carrying a lot of the load today.
Yeah, they do. So if I go to preview this, this will show me my directory. So again, I have it in card view. There's no photos, but I can quickly search for my prospects. You've got your quick alphabeticals that show up. I can ask Corey for some insights, show me the prospects that I've talked to this year. That's just another way. Again, you can do a lot of that in the contacts list, in terms of searching and narrowing down information, but this is where you can have directories. I called it a prospect map, but I think, I put it in card mode. Now, again, I don't have a lot of data here, clearly. But I've got some data. Looks like, we've got some valid information, but I don't know if I switch this. Again, I didn't switch it to map mode, but all I have to do is hit edit, and then I can switch it right to the map mode. So let me do that. Dun, 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 dun. Drink break. I gotta figure out why it's loading so slow. All right, let's go here and hit display and choose map view and hit save. And then we'll see. I don't think any pins will show up because I really think my data here. So Joel, remind me, we can always post a nice map once I do it on some clean data. Let's do the preview. And now it's in map mode. And you can zoom in, zoom out, but again, I'm not surprised. Oh, we do. Look at that, Joel.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, look. Yes. I've got data. So it's cool because when you zoom out, so this is cool. Imagine being able to see, Joel, why would this be cool to you? Please don't say widgets.
To me, as an employee of Coreware?
No. To you as a business owner, why would this be of interest to you as one of our customers? Why is Ezra spending so much time on this again?
Well, if you're not going to let me talk about the widgets and the fact that I can see where people most love widgets, and if I were to see a cluster in one state, I would say, you know what? I do some print advertising. It might be worth it to send some postcards or something to drive people to my website because these people in this area seem to be the most interested.
So seriously, bingo. I mean, that's 100% correct. And if you think about it, Joel, if you're a local retailer, how cool would it be tracking your customers by their zip code and being able to focus on certain zip codes because you're getting a bigger concentration from a certain neighborhood. And it might surprise you, right? It might actually surprise you sometimes where business is coming from. So therefore, hey, maybe you need to put up a billboard ad.
Yes.
Right? So yeah, no, you're 100% correct. So that's why I wanted to spend some time because certain things that I know people go, Ezra, why are you going through all this? We don't give a shit about, I can map my customers. Well, actually, I think it's a powerful tool.
Very powerful.
And it's super easy to set up.
Yeah.
right? So, and the neat thing is, again, your heat, it's almost like, I don't know if you call it a heat map necessarily, but when I zoom back out, it will show me how many, right? If you
Right.
notice. So I've got 4 in this area. So again, imagine doing this on a local, you mentioned the web, which 100%, I want to know, where should I focus more advertising? Because I happen to be getting a lot more business than I thought from California.
Right.
And, oh, but California is a pain to sell to. No, it's not. And we now introduce the ID verification. And yeah, you can go print a sales report, but are you going to? Isn't it
Right.
quicker just to say, hey, you know what? I've got a ton of customers sitting there in California that I've shipped to. Maybe
Yeah.
I should make sure that, I target that a little more. So again, imagine from a local retail standpoint where you're not doing a lot of online sales, but you can still see, hey, you know what? I'm sitting here in New Orleans. Where are most of my customers coming from? To my retail store, right? And maybe I can see a circle that's this size,
Right.
but I need to expand out because you know what? I can easily be accessed, from other neighborhoods, and maybe they just don't know that I'm here.
Hmm.
So this does become important, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, it's going to require just a tiny bit of effort on the part of whoever's going to use it, but that
Yep,
goes without saying, really. Yeah, this is, and I think the guys will
absolutely.
actually like it because dudes are very visual, and I would rather see a
Yep,
picture that tells the story than actually read the story.
for sure. For sure. Cool. So that's directories. So everyone now knows how to use directories. Um, so I'm not going to talk about memberships yet, but this is where I maintain memberships. And I don't know, maybe we should let's plan on doing a separate um, webinar, memberships and subscriptions, and uh, we'll do that another time. So let's talk about, because we talked about pipelines, and I want to show everyone how we literally create a new opportunity and um, basically see what our pipeline opportunity overall is. You'll see right now I've got one open deal, but it's not worth anything. So this is John Paul. We haven't done anything with it. So I can create a new opportunity and I can just say, I'm looking for Kenneth. Remember Kenneth?
I was on mute. Yep, you just brought him in.
Oh, yes. Yes. So I just typed in his name. He was brought in as an individual. Which is interesting. I have to look to see if we imported him properly. Because obviously he has a business called Trusted Gun Exchange. So I must have met Kenneth at SHOT Show. So hi, Kenneth. And what I can do is I've got an opportunity with Kenneth, right? This is perfect. Website redesign. Again, this can be custom gun. This can be the police annual banquet, right? It can
Right.
be anything, right? So what I can do is I can start adding products to this particular opportunity. I can choose the stage that it's at, right? So initially it's a lead, and I can give it an estimated time of, hey, I think they're going to actually uh, purchase, let's say, by the end of April. I can choose how they heard about us, and I can put a description in, and I can actually just go here and click on products, right? I honestly don't even know what products I have in here. I have no idea. Okay, I have. All right. Hold on. I'm going to change this. Custom Glock. Custom Glock widget. That's for you.
Yeah, I was about to say, I can't believe you don't have any widgets in here.
Yeah. It's my custom Glock widget. So they're interested in the custom Glock widget. And I don't know. It also includes, it's I don't know, multiple Glock widgets. This one I don't have a price on, so I'll put 700. And the nice thing is, I can also say, I was going to say Cerakote, but I have no idea how to spell that. Custom. Is that right?
I think it's Sarah,
No.
C-R-A, coat.
Oh, I was so close, Joel. Is that the right spelling? And I'm going to say.
Yeah, it is. I had to look it up.
Oh. So look at this, Joel. I quickly built, how nice is that? I quickly built an opportunity here.
Yeah, it didn't take long.
And I specified what products. Nope. I just hit create. And look what happened. I have a total opportunity here of $1,599. Remember, John has 0. So this opportunity we just created, the custom custom Glock widget. But the value, do you remember the value? It's only 20%, right? Because it's in lead status.
Right.
You know, this guy came into the store, started talking to me. I'm like, hey, yeah, let me track Kenneth and make sure we put him in the system, because I want to make sure we contact him, do a follow-up, right? So 2 weeks later, we call, and Kenneth is still thinking about it, but he's really interested. I can just drag this over. Watch what happened to my
It's doing the math for you.
opportunity. Does the math for you.
Look at that.
So isn't that nice?
It's a smart pipeline.
The smart pipeline. Have you seen this, Joel?
No,
It's cool, right?
it really is.
Really is. All right. So that's my pipeline. But by the same token, Kenneth came in and he wants something in writing, right? So the nice thing is I can actually create a proposal. And I hope Kenneth doesn't mind me using him as a contact. Custom Glock widget 2. So the nice thing is I can add multiple recipients for proposals. I can give it an expiration date if I want. And very similar experience, right, to building an opportunity. In this case, I can, once again, search for my Glocks, and I'll just choose a Glock 17. I can add a custom product. In this case, I'll say it's, I don't know, engraving. And we're going to charge $120. I can change quantities, right? Very similar to creating an opportunity. But in this case, I want to create something that I'm sending out, right? I'm creating an actual proposal. So again, this example would be the police department. They're ready to do their banquet. They want to rent the range. They want to rent the classroom. They want to make sure that, you know, we provide some refreshments. They need audio visual equipment, and they also want a magician. Do you think they'd want a magician, Joel?
No, I would.
So this is cool, Joel. Check this out. So typically when you send out a proposal, you want something that's looks formal. So we're doing a cover letter, and I'm going to say, hey, oh my gosh, I'm not good at these types of prompts. What should the letter emphasize? Letter should emphasize how great of a service we offer and how unique your gun is going to look at a fantastic price. So I'm using Corey here, generate my cover letter. And I gave it a prompt. And Kenneth, thank you for considering Coreware local for your next firearm purchase. We're genuinely excited about the opportunity to serve you and help you make your Glock 17 Gen 3 truly your own. Our team takes pride in offering a level of service that goes beyond the ordinary, from first question to the final delivery. Wow, this is pretty good. With our expert engraving service, your Glock G17 won't just be another gun, Joel. It will be unique, a unique piece you'll be proud of. You'll be proud to show off, whether you want a subtle mark or something bold. We work closely with you to ensure the result is exactly what you envision, all at a fantastic price. Joel, are you going to buy my? I'm excited.
I
added
absolutely.
you as the. Would you buy this for me, Joel? All right.
No.
Terms and conditions. You can save these. So I've got terms and conditions saved. That's a net 30, right? So literally, I use Corey to generate our terms and conditions. How cool is that?
That's really cool.
And I can hit save as a template, right? So you don't have to keep doing this. And then next, I can choose my branding. I can choose actual layout. Hit next. Bam. Now I can review this proposal and I can save it. You know, I'm wondering, I don't know if I want to save this, Joel.
Because it's gonna stick them in there forever.
No, it's not even that. I think it's going to send Kenneth a proposal. It might really confuse him.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
don't save it.
Yeah, we won't save it. So I should have used you as the contact. That was dumb.
And you
really
not
important, Joel.
contact right now?
I knew you would ask me that. I've got to put that in there. I can't. I can add a recipient. Shut up.
You're the one that said you should have used me. I'm like, well, then do it.
I don't even know if you're in here. Yeah, you are. Oh, look at that. Joel. Yay.
You're welcome.
That worked. Thank you. See?
Hey, I will tell you this. Can you go back?
You sometimes wonder why you're here. And this is exactly why you're here.
Right.
Look at that.
Right there. Okay, go back to the letter. Go back to the letter. So this is just a pro tip for everybody. If you don't want people to know that it was AI generated, remove all of the M dashes.
All of the what?
M dashes.
Oh, like this? This?
That is literally I just replaced them with commas. That's literally I don't know. Even when you tell it not to, it will still do it. And I think that's its signature.
Really?
Yeah, M dashes. So anytime you see
and that's called an M dash.
Yeah.
I never heard of that. M dash. You see, I learned something every day. And I'm being serious.
Now you're gonna
I did not know what an M dash is.
Yeah, you'll read a bunch of slop online now, and you'll see, oh, this was AI generated.
That's cool.
So
okay,
now
I'm going to default this. Remind me, I need to default because you always want to create a opportunity. Proposal for Joel. Perfect.
Did you save it?
Oh, not yet. I was just curious. Oh, I need to put wow, I almost gave you a free gun.
Dang it. That's
gosh, what is wrong with me?
Save it, man. Jeez.
Wow.
I don't want you to save it now.
Bam.
If you save it and I get an email, I'm going to unsubscribe and make your email look bad.
Yeah, you suck. You should get an email.
So you did save it, right?
Yeah, so one thing again, make sure you say create opportunity, otherwise it won't create this as an opportunity. So that's important. And Let's go back to opportunities. And now you'll see my opportunity has gone up, right? I'm not showing. I think I clicked it. Okay, I'll have to
Yeah.
double check.
Yeah.
We'll double check and make sure.
Why does
Okay,
that say
let's
draft?
go.
Status is
Because
draft.
I didn't send it. I'm sending it. Now it's sent, Joel.
Now go look at it. Maybe
So did you see?
maybe that's what did it.
That could be because it wasn't draft. So by the way, I hit the ... menu. So this is where I can preview. I can send, which I already sent. So that's why it won't. I should have a resend there. I can look at the preview for the proposal. That's thinking away. And I think I have it set for my emails to work, Joel. You might have an email, hopefully.
Hey, Cobra Arms asked, should these features be working for us now? I tried using this feature this past Wednesday and had errors while saving.
Oh, it should be. So yeah, thank you, Cobra Arms. I'm sure that's not your name, but let us just even in the chat, if you want to just let us know if it was a specific error, let us know. And if not, we can double check to see if there's an issue going on, but it should be working. We're using it live at Coreware, so it should be working for you. But again, it could be your instance for some reason is missing something. But Joel, if you can also just Discord that to me so I can check Cobra specifically. But yeah, that should be working here. Here's my terms. Again, I can download a PDF. And look, Joel, it's all nice and purple. Now, the neat thing about this is this will send a link to whoever you created the proposal for, and they can actually digitally accept and sign this. So this is where it's really a powerful feature. Again, if you're doing any business with local law enforcement or I use that as an example because I know a lot of gun stores and ranges, you actually have situations like this. Maybe you're doing just a custom class for a corporation. All of this, that's where it comes in handy. Your custom gun works. Joel, we should also let them add images into a proposal. I think that would be good. Just make a note of that. Because if I want to put an image of my range, hey, you have access to our range. I mean, it might be good to be able to include that in the proposal. So, but yeah, we'll make sure. I can't believe someone's watching us on a Sunday afternoon. Thank you. Being serious. Appreciate you. And again, we value everyone's time. I know these webinars go on for a long time, but again, I told everyone this is our goal here is to go deep into the systems so you really get comfortable with the entire system. And we're not looking, this isn't a sales webinar, this isn't trying to convince anyone to use something. This is truly meant as just a training webinar. So thank you for your time. And you can always, and I'm being dead serious, you can always in YouTube, if you're watching the video after the fact, you can change the speed of the playback. I do that a lot. It's these days, information overload is a common thing. There's a lot of information out there. And sometimes something like this, if you speed it up to 1.5 times, will save you literally 50%. You want to do the math on that, Joel?
Oh, no, sir. It's going to save you. It's going to be quicker than if you had not done it.
Yeah, exactly. So, Joel, just curious, did you get the email? I might not, only because I'm running on my local. Okay. That's not surprising because again, I don't have everything wired up. But again, I know we're using this ourselves and it is working. So
Right.
yeah, so you can just go accept and sign and draw your name or type it. So this is really cool. The fact that we've got digital signatures and we're tracking that, and we've got forms, just to give everyone a heads up. And again, we appreciate partners that we've worked with and integrated systems to, but I've declared it before, one-trick ponies. Hope you guys are figuring things out there. I'm not talking about our customers. I'm talking about software companies and technology companies. Don't be a one-trick pony. That's all I'll tell you, because you're going to get replaced. So what's coming next very, 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 very soon with the website module is built-in waivers with every feature that your standalone waiver software has, and it's all built into our system. And again, we're not going to charge more for it. Use our waivers, please. So just a little piece of advice, our competitors that are torturing yourselves and watching this entire webinar, welcome. Don't be a one-trick pony. Competition doesn't scare me. But that's just my word of advice to anyone looking in the tech world. Go deep. Go deep, not just laser focused on one thing. It's not going to sustain unless it's a very, very specialized area. Something like waivers is, sorry, it's not a specialized area. So I'm giving some business advice to our competitors. How nice am I, Joel?
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, I think it's really nice. I at least think so. All right. So are you really taking notes for me to make sure we don't forget about Cobra?
I sent you 2 Discord messages.
Nice. Did you also send me some messages on, never mind. I mentioned a couple of features. You probably didn't notate those.
Now, I'm using our notes app.
Hey, speaking of our notes app. Oh, wow. I didn't realize, Joel, I've been blinding you and Colt. Not that Colt's watching all this, but I mean,
You just said you liked it, so
not
I
at the
didn't say
moment.
anything about it.
Oh, yeah. I do like it. All right, fine. Whatever.
Oh,
I'll go
man.
back to it.
Nice.
Hey, did our opportunity get updated?
No.
No. No, it's a bug. You know what's cool, Joel?
Bugs?
Bugs aren't cool, but
No.
we can fix things so fast these days. So I don't mind seeing bugs.
I don't know.
How do customers ask for features?
How do they
Any
ask?
idea, Joel? How can they give us feedback?
Well, we have a feedback. We literally have a place we send people for feedback, but I don't.
I know, but we now can do it, I think, right from the platform. Let me
I mean, that would be awesome.
let me see. I think that's active. If not, we can give Oki a hard time. But I think it's active, which is really cool because if people have suggestions, we are going to migrate the existing feedback to our new feedback. Hold on, I'm actually looking. I know I'm not sharing my screen because I'm just double checking to see if. Yeah. Okay, let's make a note. Only because I'm on. Oh, Let me see. So you can go visit. Let me show everyone actually. So if you're in, I'm going to share my tab here. So I'm just going to. So I'm just authenticating myself. I'm actually going into. See, this is why I shouldn't have done this. But you can actually let me show everyone. You can actually go up here at the top, and you will see the core. It should say Coreware portal. That's where you can access your account. And Joel, we really need to show everyone the portal, which is the customer portal. Our customers that you can see your history with us, your service requests. You can also make suggestions. So we'll spend more time on the overall service module, because not only can you make suggestions to us using the service module, but you can actually have your customers use the system, which is cool. Does that make sense, Joel? So any one of
Yes.
our customers can set up a suggestion box, which is the feedback.
Right.
That's huge. Oh, hold on. Okay, do you see, Joel, it says company portal and Coreware portal?
Yes.
Okay, so this is where I want you to spend some time, because I think doing some shout outs and reminding people about this is important. Company portal is your portal, right? That's for our customers portal. But if you want to go to the Coreware portal, right, and give us suggestions, you'll reach this screen where it's going to ask to, it will verify you. And again, I think we need to make sure we don't have to do this every time, because that's a pain. So make a note for Oki, because if I'm going to the Coreware portal and I'm already in Coreware, why, Joel? Why am I still putting in a verification code?
I don't know, but Oki needs to fix it.
Yeah, what he's such a slacker. Where is he? He needs to be on here. All right, so I just put in my verification code. And look at that. Here's my requests.
Wait,
Ooh, Joel.
I'm not seeing anything.
Oh, sorry, it opened a new tab. So literally, this is me interacting with Coreware. I have my own suggestions and requests, and right, and on the left, right, I've got different things here. You'll end up seeing a lot more. Now, make a note for Oki, because this looks like it's a violation of our dark mode. I mean, God forbid anything show up in a bright white color. Hey, Joel, never mind. I was going to make a joke. Do you have something against?
No. White? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's safe.
Wow. You're anti-light.
Yeah.
Do you realize that?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So this was a very long way to tell people how they can put suggestions in. But on the left here, you can actually add suggestions. So please do that. And please upvote. And we already have. Wow, this is nice. So a lot of these suggestions, just so everyone knows, they're coming from probably internal right now, because we're using Coreware. But again, customers, please start putting in feedback for us. We are paying attention to this, and not only put in feedback, but start upvoting and downvoting. I gotta find something from Colt. I love downvoting his stuff. Now you'll see we've completed some of the suggestions here. Yeah, I should be able to filter. So I can filter. So I can just say, hey, here's all the suggestions that have been done. And I can say, here's all the ones that were declined. None. We haven't declined any at this point. Here's all the ones open for voting. Right. So standardized phone number format. Sometimes I notice while scrolling through the contacts was that the phone number field when creating contact appears to be just a normal text field and is not formatted. I would vote that up. Joel, vote that up. I want to see a 6 vote on here. You don't have to do it right now.
I'm glad. It would have taken me a minute.
Yeah, but again, it's easy, right? You're going in. I want to show everyone again the path.
Unless
So
you're taking
going
notes.
up. Yeah. We need to spend some time on our notes. We'll do a webinar on the notes. You like the notes module?
Yeah, notes is really really powerful.
Yeah, that's right here, everyone. Click away. Just that's the notes module. If you didn't watch our previous, again, we used to use Notion. I think we're still subscribed, but I've got to kill that subscription. I mean, that's $500 a month. That's literally $6,000 a year. $6,000, Joel.
Not cool.
No, not cool. So, one trick pony Notion. If you're investing in any of these companies, SaaS companies, I highly suggest start switching your investment. Diversify. Yes. Yes. Software world is changing rapidly, and it's not easy to do this transformation. So we are very fortunate because we have what I call, a lot of subject matter experts, which is why we're able to pull off creating this entire platform. Again, there's a reason why we call it a business operating software suite, because it's literally, it's going to help our customers run their entire business, and we're going to keep at it. And we're moving, like I said, we are truly moving at a rapid pace compared to yesteryear. So basically, again, just to show everyone, if you look up at the top right icons, you will see that, is that a door? Oh, it's a portal. You get it, Joel?
No, I don't see a portal.
Yeah, it's like a door.
Looks like a
What do you
refrigerator.
mean? Oh, well, some
For an ice
refrigerators
maker
act as
or
portals.
a
Did you not know
window.
that?
Huh?
Don't you isn't there some movie where the refrigerator was like a door to time travel?
Was there?
I don't know. I'm making it
No,
shit
you're
up,
thinking
but
of
it
a
would
hot
be
tub.
good. Hey, I do remember the hot tub. I don't remember what movie name was, but it was some stupid ass movie. We're getting delirious, but it's Sunday afternoon. So anyway, if you click the portal, you'll see 2 options. One is your company portal, and one is to get to Coreware. So again, once you click on Coreware, you'll end up in our portal, which is right here. And this is where
Hey,
you can, on the left side, click the suggestion box.
real quick, your
Yeah,
signal is degrading.
that's not my problem. What does that mean? My
I
signal is
think it caught
degrading.
up. Your audio, you sounded robotic, and your video froze, but I think you're good now.
Oh, well, that's what you get when you're on the other side of the world.
Those photons don't care, or electrons, or whatever.
Yeah. So if you want to create, if you want to create a new suggestion, you can actually submit a suggestion by just clicking here, give it a title. Oh, give me one. Here's a test. What did we say would be good, or and ability to include images in a proposal? Wow. Dun, dun, dun. No attachments. I'll just submit it. How's that?
That was simple until Colt finds it.
Yeah, and of course, let's see. We'll sort it by newest. It should show up. Oh, I wonder if we have it set to where we need to approve. I don't think so. Hmm. I don't see it. Uh-oh. Okie. We can blame Okie.
I'm gonna shoot him a text, say, "Hey man, it's an emergency. We need you on here right now." He would love
Hey, I
it.
submitted the suggestion. What is the deal? Wow. All right. It could be he has a routing rule. I don't know, but tell him Ezra just crashed and burned in the midst of the most viewed webinar we've ever had.
We had to stop the whole thing.
Totally. Yeah, tell him that. I'm gonna see if it's actually in the back end under my submitted requests. Nope. Wow. Well, everyone, I apologize. Wow. I'm so sad. I was excited to put my own suggestion and get it upvoted, Joel. Joel, are you paying any attention to me? Is Joel gone? Uh-oh. Joel, you were gone. Wow. I was talking. Wow.
I heard you. I was on mute though, and you couldn't hear me.
I was like, am I alone? Is anybody here? Wow, we really do have some people here. Oh my gosh. This is awesome. All right, let's keep going. I think I've exhausted our pipeline and proposal.
Well, you've exhausted.
But we do need to make sure. I think I've exhausted myself. Let's just see what else there is in terms of pipeline. So you've got your, just your numbers here. You can export your pipeline, which is good. You can export it to Excel if you want to do some further manipulation, or sometimes you want to show a pipeline. Maybe you're working with your CPA on budgets, and you want to just quickly share that with them so they know, hey, this is basically what's coming up from a business opportunity standpoint. And then again, you have the ability to create audiences, right? And that the ability to create audiences exists under the pipeline, but also exists in other areas of the contact module. So we'll go over this in just a minute here. But does that make sense, Joel? Everything regarding the pipeline and proposals. And by the way, you've got products of interest. This is nice because this shows you what products are people.
Are you sharing your
interested in.
screen right now?
No, I'm not. That was a test to make sure you were paying attention. So I was back at pipeline and I had clicked on audiences, which I said I'll get back to later. And I'm just making sure, since you weren't paying attention, Joel, I'm going to go over it again. We talked about opportunities, right? We talked about proposals. Opportunities, I mentioned, this is where you can export. There's a button here to export your opportunities. Again, I've got my proposal dashboard, which shows all the proposals. I noticed, Joel, you actually viewed your proposal. which is nice. That means you're interested. So I may move you along in terms of my opportunity. And then we've got our products of interest. So products of interest shows me any products that I've put into either an opportunity or into a proposal. So just a reminder, you don't need to put a proposal in for everything. You can still just set it up as an opportunity. You'll only use proposals if you're sending something to your customer, prospect, or whoever you may be sending that proposal to. So you'll notice that I've got my Glock, right? Those 2 Glocks that are of interest. Those are some of the products that were in the actual opportunities that we did today. So, all right, so far so good, going strong. Oh, I wish I had some caffeine, Joel.
Yeah,
Some hot tea. Yeah, that would be good. Maybe send some over.
It'd take a while to get there.
Yeah, I guess. All right, let's talk about employees. And like I said, you will see some numbers here, but I don't really have. Well, no, it's actually, yeah. Ignore what you're seeing because this data's, I know for a fact, is bad. But we're just going to add a new employee. Okay, when you're adding an employee, you can also specify whether this employee is a customer or a supplier, both, right? Because a contact can be multiple things. What a contact can't be is they can't be a prospect and a customer. That doesn't make any sense, nor will the system allow you to do that. But a contact could certainly be both a customer or supplier, or all 3. Joel, you may be an employee. You may also purchase product, from the business. And sometimes maybe you are also doing some, I don't know, maybe you do reloading, right, on the side. So you're actually a supplier because I'm buying the bullets from you. I am paying you as an employee. And you're also, obviously, as an employee, you're purchasing stuff, right?
Right.
So you can, in theory, be all 3. So I can put a nickname for you, Joe.
Wow. Wow.
Employment type, right? And at this point, I can go to my employment tab and specify what department you work in. So we'll make an executive, your job title, your CEO, because I'm quitting today. Whatever division, job rank, hire date. You can choose whatever hire date. You just started today. No, you started in the year of like 1 million years ago. There you go. You've been here forever, Joel.
I'm proud
Date
of him.
regularized. That's, this sounds like a really, I mean, sounds like something I'd see in China. So in all seriousness, we shouldn't be seeing this because this will show up. For example, if you're operating business in the Philippines, we do have, I want to be very, 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 very clear. In the Philippines, you can own guns, and we've got actual gun stores and ranges that are customers there. So it's pretty cool. So date regularized is something that's needed internationally. So typically you shouldn't see that field. So we'll have to see why it's showing up. Hire date started, typically that will be the same time. So again, you started all the way back in 2015. Let's say you started on March 9th. Okay, then location, this just specifies what location you're working out of. And this is really cool, Joel. I can set up your schedule.
Oh,
So
no, that is
I can,
cool.
yeah. So you work part-time because you're a slacker. So you work Monday through Friday.
Tuesday.
9 Tuesday. Oh, yeah.
Monday
Yeah, you
through
don't work a lot Wednesday.
Okay. I got to start another day.
9.
9 to 12.
I'll
9 to 2.
stay 9 to
Okay.
2. I don't. You know, I'm trying this because I don't even know if this works, Joel. I don't remember. I'm curious.
If it
Oh, look
does,
at
these are
that.
my new hours. Oh, I got new hours, everybody.
Yes. All right. So I can create and send an invite to you. That will actually invite you to the platform, right? So
Yeah.
you typically want to do this because most of your employees, I would argue to say that all of your employees should have access to the Coreware platform,
Sure.
but they don't have to, right? Maybe you have an employee that is just an instructor that comes in, and for whatever reason, you don't want them in the system. So you can just create the employee without sending out the invite.
So Cobra asked, not sure if it's not available to us yet, but I don't have an employees tab between contacts and pipeline.
Yes. So the answer on that is you should, which to me points to one of two things. Either for some reason their user is not set up as a system administrator, or I'm getting an error again, or it could be, let me just try that or it could be, I think the only reason is if they're not set up as a system administrator. You should be seeing it, Cobra. So we will check on that as well. We need to make us as an actual employee. All right, and for whatever reason, I don't know why, but my employee info is not saving. Okay, but that's how basically you would add an employee. Let me see if I can go to, just going to see if I can access. I probably should not have been using my local for this, but I'm going to share my screen in a second. I'm going to hop to, or at least try to hop to another site. I may legitimately be having some internet issues, could be part of the problem too. We shall see. Oh, we should take a break time, Joel. Do we get to break?
Can't break.
Like,
We're live.
why can't we break? Like we can do like a music break. What if nature is calling? Maybe our users maybe our viewers want to go get like a quick bite, have some caffeine. Okay, are you seeing? I assume you're seeing my
marketing module.
Yeah, cool. I switched. All right. I'm gonna try. Oh, we've got employees here. This is better. Cool. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, I don't need to show the ad again since we've got employees here. I'm actually in one of our demo areas. So I've got some employees here. This is just, you'll see actual Coreware employees here, Joel, because this is where we, for our employees, we literally call it playground, the playground where they can just play with the new platform. So I've added an employee. Let's see. I'm going to pick on you. Let's see if you're here. I think you're in here. Oh, you're not. You know what? Let me add you.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
That's not me.
Gee
That's
whiz,
Oki's
man.
fault.
Golly, dude.
Everything is Oki's fault since he's not here.
Freaking horrible.
Yeah, I know. I won't put your phone number, otherwise you'll start getting phone calls and you get mad at me. We really don't need anything. We'll just do just for the fun of it. I still want to. Oh, you started way back when. You're old school. Dun, dun. So I'm thinking we should do like a 5-minute. Why do you torture me?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right. Schedule. I'll just do standard. You know what? That's your punishment, Joel. You had a great schedule. And now that you're not giving me a break, I'm putting you back. I should even make it worse.
Oh, wait, I'm off on
Oh,
the
this
weekend?
is cool. So did you see? Yeah, you are. Did you see how you can actually add a break time, specify
Yeah.
the lunch hour? So we've never had scheduling, right? So a lot of our
Yeah.
customers are using third-party scheduling.
Mhm.
I think Brian at Aries sent me who he uses, just so we can add some features. So we'll look at whatever, Brian, I'll shout out to you. I don't know if he's actually watching live, but I know I have his
Belcher?
text and he sent me. What's that?
Belcher?
Yeah.
He said
Right.
hi earlier, and
Yeah.
I said hi back, but I was
Oh,
muted.
cool.
Yeah, I felt
So
bad.
look, Joel, this automatically shows your tenure. You've been here. Oh, thank you for your service, Joel. 25 years and 11 months. How does it feel?
Feels every bit of that. Every bit of it.
Hey, Joel, so in all seriousness, just to show, so once you edit that employee, there's a couple of things here. You can upload a photo, right, of the said employee, which we could do. So again, there's also
Face ID.
I should talk about. Yeah, I should talk about this. So let me upload a photo of you. I could be funny about it, but I'm going to all right.
Did you get it?
No, go back. I wasn't fast enough. There we go. Dun dun dun. All right.
Are you not sharing your screen?
I thought I
Oh,
am. Oh,
I'm
no,
just
no, I took it off.
No, I'm just joking.
You
I'll put it back on.
suck. Wow. Wow.
I can't believe you forgot. You're sitting there doing all that work. Nobody's watching.
I don't know why it's so. The reason why we have Face
You have to
ID
click
and
update. You have to click update in the bottom right. Is it one of
did
those?
I
Is it
did
one of
I
those
not
things?
do that?
Yeah, do that. And then do that.
Upload.
And then bottom right, update. And now we probably need that not to kick us out when we do.
Yeah. Okay, so you're there now. So Face ID is being used for the time clock capability. and basically you can either start with a new photo for Face ID, because again, it's going to do a few other things to analyze that data in order to make the face recognition more accurate. But you can also use the actual photo that's in the profile, because in this case I took a pretty clear photo. But sometimes maybe you want a more fun photo in your profile. That's why that capability is there. So it takes a few seconds to process through the facial recognition stuff, but once it's done, you can actually use that for your enrollment. So again, I can just hit save enrollment, and that's your face has been enrolled. So now I can update, and you're all set, Joel. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah, so let's go back to editing, because I want to point out a few other important things. And again, we'll make sure for our customers who don't, for whatever reason, you should be seeing employees, but this is important. The only users that will see employees, it is based on, if you go into user account, right? It will be based on permissions. Now, if you notice, Joel, right now, I don't have anything on my screen that says permissions, because I have not invited you to the platform. Remember, I didn't choose that option. So, but I can always invite you after the fact. So I'm going to create an account and send an invite. That invite should be in your email legitimately, so you can actually join the playground site. So I just sent it, and you'll notice now I've got an employee now that has access to the system. Now, we chose, and I know some people might gripe a little about this, but we're not importing all of the existing employees necessarily into the system, because again, Core Store didn't have a lot of these features. And if we brought information in, we may bring in employees that aren't even with you anymore. There might, I mean, I can make a dozen excuses of why we chose to have you set up your employees from the start. And I know that's a little more work, but I think it's, and again, I'm very sensitive to people's time, but in this case, you can do it right. You can set up your employees. If you've got a ton of employees and you need us to help you do an import, we can help you do an import. We do have an import employees feature in our data import module. But again, most of our customers, you don't have that many employees, so I would just set everyone up. Now, this is where I can grant administrator access. This is only do this if your employee is running the entire system and you want them to give them access to the setting screens, right? I would keep this off. There's no reason to set people up unless literally they need access to module settings. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Did you get an email, by the way?
Not yet.
I think I don't know. You should have gotten an email. That makes no sense. You can send a reset password email. You can also directly set up a password for your users. The PIN capability, we're not leveraging yet. That will be mostly used for the sales module. So again, for those of you who are using Core Store, you can set up pins for employees. We will obviously have the support for that. And below that is where you have more granular control of what employees have access to, what modules they have access to. You'll only see the modules that are enabled on your system, so you won't be seeing some of these modules. You'll see them soon. But you can either provide full access, read-only, or no access. And it will get more granular as time goes along. For example, under contacts, you can say whether or not, this particular employee has access to subscriptions, read only, full access, or no access. And again, in this case, I'm going to give Joel access to the employee module. And Joel, we've got a partner module in contacts. Or this should be under contacts, actually. That's a bug. Not a big bug, but I'll give you access to it, Joel, because I like you.
Gracias.
Yeah, we need to see why, in all seriousness, if you can make a note, you should have gotten an email. I'm not on my local hybrid system that was acting up. Again, I probably should have been in the playground this whole time, but I think you should have received that. So, hey, Joel, so you knew about the image issue. You clearly gave me the answer. Because were you playing with it and you ran into that issue where you had to hit update for it to save the photo?
No, I just it's intuitive.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, thank you.
But
we'll fix that because
we don't want it to kick us out.
Minor annoyance. No, we don't. No, we definitely don't. So make a note on that. I mean, you can put a request in for me. And Joel, in all seriousness, let's do just and I apologize for anyone on this webinar, but let's take and I don't think we have a lot longer to go, but I still want to delve into a few things. So we've already talked about employees. I do want to at least go over adding contacts. So again, if you want to hang around, thank you, everyone. In the meantime, Joel, let's, I don't know if you want to pause or play some music, but I need just 5 minutes.
You got it.
Unless you want to just talk about stuff. Totally up to you.
You're on the clock.
Cool.
You have 4 minutes and 45 seconds.
Uh-oh.
4 minutes, 35 seconds. 4 minutes, 30 seconds. Thanks, everyone. We'll be right back. Here, we'll play something.
Power line smile, core in the rhythm with a barcode dial, marshmallow suit and a bellhop stare, where rolls deep in electric air, left turn jump in a right side groove, backbeat buzzing like a checkout move, flamingo moon in a concrete dream, core said slide, where said stream. Zigzag core in a neon stare, grooving through the grid with a head full of air, baseline bounce in a prism of sound, core steps up, never backs down. Cabbage in a cape with a customer grin, we're on the mic with a limited spin, quarter past clean in a digital jam, cores in motion like a hologram, sidewalk come with a cash box glow, where don't stop when the numbers flow, everything shines when the beat runs tight, Coreware cruising in the pixel light.
I saw a milkshake levitate at the edge of the Ethernet. Core wave, where moonwalk, then the lights blink 12.
Zigzag when the neon zigzag core, eyes wide open, where got style, 1-2 punch from Coreware. Zambanizo, Coreware, Fritz, Malancho, Warminando, Tic-a-taca, boom in the zone, Coreware, clapping the back of the bone. Jamaloo says it in the frame, driving the biz zone, never the same. Where tick, core, chick, flame of the flare, zoom in the room like you just don't care. Coreware, zin-zin-ism, Balaco, Frito Stone, wire core, crisscross flow, getting that bang for the show. Coreware, zin-zin-ism, flick a snap, boom a thone, cashier flip, back in flame, retail rising, never the same.
Woo! Hey, Joel.
Can you
You're
reload
muted.
whatever? Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Can you reload your page? I'm getting a message that your stuff wasn't recording locally.
Really?
You just reload, like close out, and then come back
Okay.
in the link I sent earlier.
Turn the dial, drop the bomb, retail march, rhythm and flame, mastery mode, remember the name. Coreware, zin-zin-ism, flip a flash, never wrong, racks on racks with the big boom pow. You ain't ready, get ready now.
So, I need you to share your screen again.
Sure. I can do that.
Awesome.
How did I do on time?
We're at 2 hours 47 minutes.
No,
So-
I mean as far as my break time, was that good? I had to go
Oh.
find water.
Horrible.
I was in search for water.
You did horrible.
I
on that.
found some water, Joel.
We're back.
I did horrible.
Yeah, it was bad. You were like 8.5 minutes.
Wow. That's
I'm
pretty
just-
bad.
I'm just joking. I have no idea. I was dancing.
That's good. It's always good to dance. All right. So, Joel, here's the test. What were we talking about?
I have no idea. Contacts?
Hey, so by the way, Patrick is who is with Cobra, and Patrick, thank you for. I don't know if you're still here, but I did update your account, so you should see employees now. If you can confirm that for us, that would be great. I need to see why Patrick didn't have access, because that means possibly some of our other users may not have gotten access. So yeah, I don't know if Patrick is still here. Again, thank you for attending, but I just made sure. Yeah. If you refresh, you should see employees now between contacts and pipeline. Look at that, Joel. We're fixing things on the fly.
Just fixed stuff. It's awesome.
It's awesome. It's good stuff. All right. So I think we talked about employees, but I do want to just go over a couple of things. Oh, I didn't even realize it. So Joel, look, we have an import. Oh, that cracks me up. I forgot. I added it there. How cool is that? So if if you want, you can upload your employees. I don't know. I mean, I keep saying we'll do things, and we're almost 3 hours into this, so I don't want to go through a whole data import training. So what let's kind of recap, because I pushed off a few things. I know I pushed off. We need to do time clocks. Talk about time clocks. We do need to talk about importing contacts and importing employees. So maybe we do a contacts part 2. Does that make sense, Joel? We'll do another webinar this week, contacts part 2, or next week. Yeah. I mean, but yes, you can import. Look, try it yourselves. Just upload a file, choose a file, make sure it's a spreadsheet or CSV, and have at it. I mean,
Patrick says it's fixed.
Yay!
I'm assuming that's Patrick, but we also have Bravo Alpha Zulu, who's having the same issues. Not seeing the employees tab.
Bravo Alpha Zulu. Wow.
Mhm.
Alpha Zulu. Baz. So we would need to know who they're with, Joel. But you can put in a service request, but it sounds like we've got we've got
Tree of Liberty Defense.
Oh, Tree of Liberty Defense. Cool. Hi, guys. I might as well. I mean, Joel, we're having fun here, so might as well see if we can fix things on the fly. But I will definitely just make a note of that, and if I don't fix it, I'm kind of multitasking here. Normally we have more help. Joel, like, where is everyone? Why is it always just you and me?
I don't know.
If we had more help, like, they could be fixing this. But I will make sure, if we don't fix it during the webinar, we'll make sure that we get this addressed right after. Because I have a feeling, based on the fact that we've got 2 people already reporting it, there may be an overall issue. So, I gotta. Oh, I was thinking I got a Discord from someone, but no. No, Joel. I was thinking someone. Tree of Liberty Defense. David. I assume that's David. Oh, Baz. Yes, that's got to be David. Hi, David. I was just curious. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, it's TO Defense. That's why. All right. I think I got you, David. Joel, you're still here, right? Are you paying any attention to me?
No, why? Wait, Are we still live?
I think we are.
Did you fix Tree of Liberty?
No, I'm trying to. But for some reason, it's. Oh. Hold on. I'm about to. Yes, I'm about to, Joel. Tell us a story while I do it.
Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there was a dragon who was thirsty for oil. He had 2 really good sources of oil.
Oh God, I think we need to stop this story before we get thrown off the air.
Or a balcony.
Yeah. So, David, give me 2 minutes here and I'll have it fixed. So, while I'm doing that, so employees, I think we've gone over a few things, but we'll do a separate little part 2, not little, because nothing is little with these webinars. There's a lot to cover, but just to show everyone, this is where the time clock entries are. This is where that lives. So you'll see under employees, and you are seeing my employee tab, right, Joel?
See time clock. Yes, employees.
Yeah. And also that this is where you can maintain your bulletin board notices. So again, the idea with the new time clock is that you'll have the time clock running, let's say on a computer in the back. It's more of a kiosk that employees can go up to, clock in, see any messages that, maybe the company published. And maybe you want everyone to know, hey, don't forget that this week the Glock widget is on sale. So make sure to tell customers about it. So that's an example of where you would use the bulletin board type feature in the system. So just FYI for everyone. So again, for our support people, who better be paying attention to this webinar. If you do hear from a customer that says, hey, I don't have access to the employees, make sure you, first of all, verify that that person contacting us is the main contact, right? And then we can grant them permission, the proper permissions. But I'm just using this as just a reminder for us to make sure we take care of that. And David, if you can refresh your screen, you should be all set. So let's keep going. But you should see employees. So contacts. This is what we're here for, is talk about contacts. So in the contacts, you've got your main contacts screen, which you'll see right at the top. I can quickly jump between all contacts, prospects, and customers, right? And as well as I can hop to suppliers. So, and it takes just a second to refresh the screen, but again, as you go from each one, you should see the system will narrow down to that particular contact type. You'll see your total number of suppliers, for example, your supplier growth, as well as any recent activity, and how many profiles are not complete. Profiles really relate to employees typically, so it'll show you the list of employees. And I lied, we have 0 suppliers in the system right now. Again, it just took a second to load here. I think the StreamYard is really slowing my system down, or it's just my overall internet issues. But again, in this case, I don't even have any prospects in this particular. Do we have any customers? Yes. Okay. So we've got at least some customers. Wow. Joel, you know what this tells me?
What?
None of our employees are really using this to play around with the system. We only have 4 customers, no prospects, no suppliers. All right, guys, get busy. People aren't playing in the playground. In the contacts, this is where, again, you can scan the business cards, which we showed earlier. You can import contacts, right? And when you import contacts, you can choose how they're being imported. Are these customers? Are they prospects? Are they leads, right? Below that, again, you've got your general dashboard numbers. And then below that, you've got your actual contact list, which I want to go through all of the options here. I can quickly search for contacts. If I know that I'm looking for Angela, this will narrow down the search. And then over here, I can initiate filters for my contact list, but I can also set up or activate a particular audience, right? So audiences are really powerful. Again, they're being used throughout the system, especially in the marketing module, when you set up an audience, you can then market to that audience. You can create an email campaign or an SMS campaign to that particular audience. So audience building is really powerful. If I go here, wow, Joel, nobody's played in the playground.
Nobody.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
So I'll create, yeah, unbelievable. I'll create an audience, Joel, and I can use Corey to build that audience. And in this case, I want customers with first name of Angela. Bam. How cool is that?
Yes.
Now, look at what it did. Because Joel, this is really powerful. So first of all, I can manually do this, right? I can actually go and select what fields but most of our customers don't want to spend a lot of time doing it. They just want to say, show me all customers who are named Angela, right? Which is all I typed. And that built my filters for me. So it knows that it should have selected a contact type of customer because I said, I need a customer list
Right.
or an audience of all customers named Angela, and it knew to set the first name where it equals Angela. How cool is that? And I can add conditions, right? So when I add conditions, I can search for my category of conditions. So for example, I want all Angelas who purchased an average, no, not average, no, average, that's fine. Where they purchased an average greater than $100, right? So it's really powerful. Now, if I do a preview count, I bet it shows 0 because I haven't sold Angela anything, right? But if I delete that and do a preview again, got 1. How freaking cool is that?
Bam. Or pow. Sorry.
Bam. Bam. Pow. Look, now I have an audience, Joel.
Mm-hmm.
And the neat thing is I can always edit the audience and I can specifically tell the system whether I'm going to share this audience with the rest of my team.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right. So now that I have this audience in here, I can also select this audience and it will immediately. So let me show you specifically what just happened there. I'm going to clear this out. So I have 4 customers. If I choose my audience and I select the audience we just built, it narrows it to 1.
Nice.
Yeah. Super powerful. I've got some additional filters I can have here, so you can actually set up filters. I personally like using audiences, but if you do want to narrow your list down based on certain filters, got a lot of options here. So this seems a little redundant with audiences, but again, it's up to you if you want to set just a filter up versus an audience. Audience is used in other modules. The filter lives within just the contacts module. So I could say, show me a filter of all customers that, I don't know, their address is in Texas, for example.
Right.
Wow. My water is just not helping. Hold on 1 second, Joel. I promise I'm still here. Just grabbing a cough drop. Ricola.
Ricola.
Ricola. Okay. Let's add a new contact. I can add either an individual or a business contact. So let's add a business contact. So in this case, I'll just go ahead and let's say I'm adding a new customer. I can choose what tags, right? I have no tags here, but if I want to add a tag, I can do that. I don't want to say widget, so I'll just say PIP.
Fidget. Oh,
Again, category if I want. Where did this customer come from? No, I don't know what just happened. Wow, that was weird. I don't think it added. Hold on. Let's try that again. Oh yeah, already has a value.
your name's already taken.
That is weird. Name's taken, but I'm not showing my tag. I've got to look at what happened there. Okay, I can choose my lead source, business name, Angela's Guns, tax ID, business type if I want. You don't have to put that. Industry if I want to put that. Lead source again. Account number, if you use account numbers, you can actually enter an account number. Payment terms, if you offer them. We don't have any set up. Credit limits, default location. We've got multiple locations. In this case, we'll add an email address, phone number, and again, I'll just add that's our address, office address. I'll add suite B. I can add social media links. I can assign an account manager to this account. So that's basically all information that you can add. Again, I'm adding this as a business. I'll create, I'm doing this for a reason, Joel. So I'll just go ahead and create this business. Right, so now if I go back to my contacts, I've got Angela's Guns, right? So at this point, if you notice, I've got Angela Barker and I've got Angela Guns, right? They're not associated with one another. So I did that on purpose because I wanted to show everyone how you can set that up. So if I click on that customer, right, you'll notice there's a people tab.
Where
This is where I can
are you
add.
right now?
Where am I?
Yeah,
I
go
already
back.
told you I'm in
I didn't
frickin' China.
I didn't see how you got there. I think your
No
cursor was
problem.
moving too fast.
No worries. So I'll just hit contacts
Okay.
and then I can go right from here, right? Because it's the last record that I added.
Right.
And I'm just clicking on that.
Okay.
And then now you've got quite a lot of information on this customer, but I specifically was jumping just to the people tab.
Okay.
Okay. And I'll add. And what I can do is I can actually search for Angela because I know she's already in the system, right?
Mhm.
So I can choose Angela and I can say Angela is the owner of Angela's Guns. Look at that. I can't even read that. Man, that's blinding. Who did that?
That's dark mode, baby.
And I'm going to set Angela up as the primary contact at Angela's Guns.
Okay.
So does that make sense?
Yep.
So I have Angela's Guns, which is the business, right? But I can associate the individual to that business.
Okay.
So again, most of our customers are just consumers, so you don't have to worry about this. But I did want to show how this works because I know it's a little, I don't want to say confusing, but in most systems, you've got just a single entity contact called customer, and then maybe you have some, associated contacts. Here, we just married the two really well so that we can track our businesses versus individuals.
So can you go back to where you had the two placards, one individual and one business?
So let me go back. I don't remember what you're asking, so I'll recreate what I just did. Meaning I won't do it all over again.
Like
but-
from the
so
very
I'm in
beginning.
yes, I'm in contacts.
Yeah.
So now, you notice I have one business. I had 32 individuals before with no businesses. Now I
Right.
have one business and
Okay.
32 individuals. And you'll notice, look how cool this is.
Yeah.
Angela Barker is listed under Angela's Guns. Same thing. Angela Barker works. She's the owner of Angela's Guns.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So this maybe gets, in terms of you're seeing her twice, but you can actually filter so you don't necessarily have to see it twice, but it doesn't matter. You're not scrolling through your contacts. This is an argument I can have with a gazillion people. But the bottom line is you can easily search for Angela. You know that she's both an individual and she's owner of Angela's Guns business.
Well, all that's showing is the contacts in the order in which they were created, right? Newest being at the top.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it literally, you can change that.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. I can sort it alphabetically if I want.
So my question was, when you first started, before you added Angela as a business,
Mhm.
I was wondering, what is an individual, and why not just put individual under business, since under the business you've got 4 different ways you can add them? I was kind of
So
confused.
Angela, no, I already had Angela in here. So, but I didn't have her business in here. So I added her business and then connected the two. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about, right? You were on a screen. It
No,
was
I have no idea.
One said individual and one said business. When you first,
Oh, yes. So if you go to add contact, you
there
can
you
choose if you're just adding an individual or
So
if you're adding
can
a
you
business
explain
contact.
what an individual is? Because I don't understand why individual couldn't just be under business.
Because in most, not us, right? We're a B2B
Right.
solution. So most of our customers are businesses.
Right.
Think about our customers who are retailers.
Okay.
Most of their customers are literally just individual people.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense.
Does it, Joel? Does
Yeah,
it
but
really? Or
if
do
you
I need
click-
to? Do you
if
want
you-
me to define individual for you? Because
Can you just-
basically,
Can you click on
an
individual?
individual is a single person. It refers to one human being. Example, each individual is responsible for their own actions.
I disagree. Hey, can you click on individual and let me just see what that looks like?
Yeah. It just lets you add a person. Dang.
But you're
Ta-da.
the contact type's still the same.
Yes.
Or no, they're different, right?
No, it's the same.
As a business?
They're not a business. You just told me to add an
What I'm saying
individual.
is when you click business, it had 4 different choices, and those aren't the same
Correct.
choices. Okay.
Yes, they are. Why wouldn't they be?
They are the same choices.
Why do you want to discriminate against individuality is what I'm not understanding, Joel. I mean,
Well, I'm just
do we
saying,
need to have a broader discussion about
I'm just
like
wondering why
individual versus
we have a different box for individual when it's literally taking us to the same place.
It's not, because on a business it's going to ask for the business name and license
gotcha.
information and some other
Gotcha. So if you scroll down, there would be other information missing that was on the
correct.
business. Okay.
Correct.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's where I was confused.
Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay to be confused after Ezra talking for 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. I'm confused.
I know.
You should be confused. All right. No, but seriously, does that make sense?
Yep. I got it.
Because if you're confused, that may confuse
We got problems if
other people.
I'm confused. Yes.
Yeah. So, but this is really cool because you can have multiple people associated with, the one business, right?
Right.
So, and you can track them, and what's important is you can track interactions with, maybe you want to track the fact that, hey, Coreware is a customer and I talked to Joel, right?
Right.
But I do want to follow up with an email to Ezra, right? So
Right.
that's the reason why we kind of
Okay.
separate those two. Um, so let's talk about that a little. Let's a few things. So I've got Angela's Guns and Angela Barker, right? And over here, I've got some actions. So I've got a quick view, activity and touch points, purchases and subscriptions, and then some more actions. So I can clone individuals, Joel. Did you realize that we now have cloning?
I thought that was illegal.
Not anymore.
Okay.
I'm going to clone myself because this way one of me can do webinars with you and the other could be just taking a nap.
Can you add like traits when you clone them so that maybe I could have more fun?
That would be cool. So again, you've got some action items here. Let's just show you. Just a quick view is literally what it means. It just shows me a quick view of information for a particular contact, right?
Mhm.
But what I can do is what I really like is this activity and touch points. So if you notice, remember I created
Mhm.
uh,
You did it 9
this
minutes ago.
particular. Yeah. I don't know why I chose lead. I thought I created it as a customer, but we'll have to double check on that. So let's say I wanted to add a touch point, right? Well, defaults to who is it that I'm interacting with? So obviously with Angela's Guns, there's only one person to interact with. So it will show Angela, right? I'm going to record the fact that I spoke to her, and I'm just going to say, I had a call today. Angela is very interested in doing business with us. I think it would be good to have Joel give her a call back on Monday, right? And I'll create that touch point. Now, what I didn't do was, right, I added just a touch point, but you can actually add a touch point and you can create a follow-up to a touch point. So remember, I'm in just the quick view here, but if I close that and I open up Angela Guns, I can actually see all the touch points, right? So here's the full view of the touch points. I've got 2 total. And at this point, I can actually, for example, edit the touch point, right? So all I did was I clicked on the edit icon on the right side here.
Mhm.
And in this case, what I want to do is scroll down and say requires follow-up because I forgot to do the follow-up when I did it in the quick view. And I can just go and say follow-up will be, and I'm going to make it for today. What is the date? Oh, it is today. Wow.
No,
Well, for me.
for you.
For me. And then I can assign who do I want to assign this to, right?
Mhm.
And I can put some notes. Please call Angela, and the follow-up type is call, and follow up with her. And I can notify you via email or SMS, and then I can just update this touch point, right? And in this case, I assigned it to myself. It's due today.
Mhm.
So it shows it's assigned to Ezra. I can mark it as complete, but I do want to go back to just the main dashboard of my contacts. So I'm going to go back to my dashboard and look. There's a little
You got a notification.
notification. Yeah. And I can just quickly mark it as complete, or I can edit it. You know, if I want to mark it as complete and put some notes, I'd go to edit and put some additional notes, so I can just quickly mark it as complete. So it's a whole reminder system. And also what's nice about this, Joel, is now I can truly track full activity on that particular contact.
Right.
So, sorry, I hit the wrong. So again, I've got all my touch points right here. And the nice thing, again, you've got your service requests, your sales data will be here, your bookings. You know, if you're in the pawn business, is where you'll see your pawns and your buys. You wouldn't see that unless you're running a pawn business. But that's basically where you can actually see all the activity for a customer. The nice thing too is you'll notice we've got our touch points right here. So it shows, you know, that I completed my follow-up, right? Couple things, I can actually search through all of my notes if I wanted to. I can also click that little button and look at it. It kind of gives me an idea of what's been happening with this particular contact.
Yeah.
So it literally tells me, hey, this is when the contact was created. No immediate follow-up. I can also so yeah, it gives some insights, right, in terms of my interaction with this particular contact.
Right.
And I can also regenerate that at any time. Now, I do want to point out, so if you notice, I'm moving to different, you know, tabs within the contact. So we talked about touch points, right? I want to jump to activity log. Activity log is really powerful because it shows me who has updated and what has been updated within the contact module. So again, it becomes pretty important if you've got multiple employees and people are changing information. Someone called, they changed their address, but really, you know, they weren't supposed to change the address. So you can always go back and see what the full activity was and who actually performed the activity. So you'll see Ezra updated the address. He created the record, right? So this was all me.
Okay.
So your activity log within any module in Coreware is actually effectively your audit trail.
Right.
Okay. So the other things that you can do within this contact is you've got your overview, right? That's all the main information on this particular contact, including their phone number, their classification, meaning what type are they? You've got your tags, you've got recent activity, you've got your financial information. You've got more detailed customer related information in here, right? This will show overall, we don't have the loyalty points active yet in the new platform, but it will be. It will show if they have a balance. Again, just all the financial data on this particular customer. If they do have a card on file, that will not show the card information, by the way, but it will have all of that information. You've got your touch points, which we talked about. You've got your purchase history. This will show any purchases that were made by that particular contact, and you've got your subscriptions. This is where I manage all of the subscriptions that were that this particular customer has. You can do a lot of things. We will, again, part 2 of contacts, hopefully you're keeping track. So we have an agenda, but we talked about going over time clock. We talked about data imports. We will also, and maybe we make this a separate webinar. I think we said that. We'll probably do memberships and subscriptions. We will make that a separate webinar. Joel, make a note of that.
Wait, I got time clocks, data import, and then you said something else.
Uh, I probably, I don't know. I probably said something, Joel, but I think I'm growing delirious myself. So what I did say was I was going to say we should do subscriptions and memberships as part of it, but I think subscriptions and memberships should maybe be its own coreBLAST, because there is a lot to subscriptions and memberships. A lot of exciting stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, so maybe we'll do, you know, a contacts kind of follow up where we delve into a little bit on the data imports. I mean, not every one of these has to be 17 hours long. So maybe we'll do a shorter one where we can follow through. You know, we'll look through some of the questions that came through and maybe address some of the issues. But yeah, we'll spend a bunch of time definitely on time clock because there's a lot in terms of setup that you can do there. I mean, not a ton, but it's a pretty powerful module. And we'll also spend time on the data import that I do want to spend some time on because it's a very powerful feature in the system. And then we'll see if there's some other topics to cover with the contacts. All right. The people tab, again, that's where I was able to add Angela Barker to Angela's Guns, right? Maybe I shouldn't have called it Angela's Guns. It would be less confusing, but too late. But I can, again, add another person if I want to create a person. This is where I would create, you know, so for example, if Bob Smith also and this is an employee, and if I want to put a start date, you can, but let's say we won't. So now I've got two contacts, right? And let me be very clear, and I'm sorry this maybe is confusing, but hopefully it'll make sense to everyone. This is not an employee of the company. This is an employee of Angela's Guns. Does that make sense, Joel?
Yes.
Okay. That is not a contact type of employee. Bob Smith is still considered a customer because he works for Angela's Guns. Angela's Guns is a customer. So these two individuals by default become customers because they work for the customer. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You don't sound convincing.
No, I'm not. I'm confused. They're employees and customers?
Okay. Are you fucking with me? Ooh, I said the F word.
You did. We're all 3 hours and 26 minutes completely down the drain because you dropped an F-bomb. No, seriously. Bob Smith is an employee.
Yeah, he's not a contact type of employee. He's an employee of the business, which is a customer. So therefore, he's a customer.
Maybe we should make that, because if our customers are using that, that's going to be confusing for them.
I don't know what else to call it.
Customer?
No.
Is Bob
We
Smith?
need to know.
Bob Smith.
I need to know.
For
I need to know that Angela is the owner and that Bob is an employee.
Well, yeah,
sorry,
that makes perfect sense.
To me, it makes sense. All
but
right,
why
then
does it say customer up top? Business contact customer. That's for us.
Oh, Jesus.
That's for us, right?
Obviously. What do you mean for us?
Well, we use this as well. Like we're B2B.
Bingo.
So
in this case, I know that Angela's Guns is a customer, right?
Yeah. This will, if we don't communicate it correctly, it will be an issue. We just need to, have a really, really stupid, simple way. Not saying you didn't explain it well enough, but it's still.
I think you're saying that.
No, when I see customer, we need to let our customers know you're going to be looking at these from your perspective.
Correct.
We're looking at that. Yeah, we need to be able to simply explain the perspective of where they're looking at this from. Because if I
Well,
work
they're
for
looking at
Angela's
their own
Guns,
contacts. They're looking at their own contacts and they see Angela's Guns. Angela's Guns is a customer of theirs. That's all that is. So I'm in my contacts.
right? You're looking at it from from a B2B perspective.
No, every business does business. Well, almost every business. I shouldn't say every business. Every business has customers, right? So if I go here, here's all of my customers
Right.
that I have, right? Guess what? Bob Smith is actually a customer of ours, but he works for Angela's Guns.
Right. So
He
again,
doesn't buy from us directly.
right. But you're
Does that make
explaining
sense?
it. Yeah, but you're explaining it from our perspective. We need to explain
Not
it
our as in Coreware. I'm explaining it. I'm explaining it from the
Angela's Guns
perspective.
perspective.
No.
That was my
Okay.
question.
Okay. This is we're in the business currently. We're in the business name of Playground. Playground Incorporated. Playground Incorporated has contacts.
Right.
These are all the contacts.
Right.
I have 34 contacts, right? Some of them are prospects, some of them are customers, some of them are suppliers,
Right.
right? I've got 34 total contacts, right?
Mm-hmm.
But most of them are employees, actually. My employees, Playground Incorporated, my
Right.
employees. Okay. If I look at customers, Playground Employees has 4 customers, 1 business and 3 individuals, right? That's the total number of customers that Playground has, 4.
Right.
One of them is a business called Angela's Guns, which has 2 contacts.
Right.
There's Angela, the owner, and Bob Smith.
Yep.
So that's all it is. This is just whoever's using our system, these are their contacts. And what I'm showing is you can literally track. Now you're saying, look, how many customers do you see? 4, right?
Yep.
How many contacts do you have on the screen? Count.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6, right? You know why it shows we only have 4 customers, but 6 records?
Why?
Because Bob and Angela are not direct customers. They're just the employees of the customer. The customer happens to be Angela's Guns.
Okay.
So the actual customers that we have is Angela's Guns,
Right.
Automation Test, which I don't know what that is, Harvey Rabbit, and Justin Randall.
Gotcha.
So I can literally go here, and if I want to do a filter to make this simpler, I can actually go here and say only show individuals or only show a business. So in this case, I only have 1 business, right? That's a
Right.
customer, which is Angela's Guns. And Angela's Guns happens to have 2 contacts. So if I go to Angela's Guns and I go to people, Angela's Guns has 2 people, Angela Barker and Bob Smith.
Got it.
Do you really?
And I got it better with you explaining it that way than before. Like, for real. And I know because our customers, they're more concerned with Bob just walking in buying stuff.
So,
you know?
right, our customers won't have many businesses that are
Right.
customers because 90% of their customers are literally just individuals.
Yep.
But my point of showing this is they can track both.
Yes.
They can track all your individuals, but you can also track the local police department and the 6 people that you're going to deal with, because you're not just dealing with one person at the police
Right.
department,
Right.
right?
Makes
You might, the
perfect-
sheriff might come in, you know, his 2 deputies might be coming in,
Yeah.
and they're buying stuff on behalf of the police department itself.
Right.
So now they may also, this is where it gets confusing. I'm sorry, Joel, but life is confusing, right? But you still want to be able to track that confusion. So let's
Absolutely.
say, so Joel, let's say you work for the police department. You're the sheriff.
Mhm.
You still might go to Angela's Guns and buy a gun on your own that's not through the police
Right.
department.
Right.
So in that case, you are a direct customer, but you are also, you work for the customer, right?
Right.
Because the police department literally may be doing classes, they may be buying ammo, and you may be the one picking that up. You may be coming in because the department decided they need to order some new shotguns,
Mm-hmm.
and you're buying it on behalf of obviously the police department. We still need to track that it's you, right, as the employee of that police department. But at the same time, you may be buying a shotgun for your hunting trip next week,
Right.
right? Has nothing to do with the police department,
Right.
right? So the beauty is we can track all of that.
That makes perfect sense.
And my point is sure, we can make this really dumb, but then we wouldn't be able to track the
Right.
2 different scenarios. And oh wow, I think my AirPod just died. Can you hear me, Joel?
Yep.
Oh, good. I don't know if my audio changed, but I think I've been talking so long that my AirPod died. Hey, are we going on a record? Probably not. I know our record is like 5 hours, isn't it?
No, it's 4, a little over 4.
Oh, should I just keep going just to try to break a record?
I would say no, but
I vote no. I'm exhausted already. Joel,
yeah,
it's your fault.
I mean, we could do
All
this
your
one weekend. If
questions.
you just wanted to go for like 10 hours. We could just hang out and talk about
Yeah, we
everything.
should.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe we should do that one day. I think we should do that one weekend. I will give you a tentative date. Not committing to it, but we may do that first week of April.
Oh,
We'll call
I'll
it a marathon.
probably still be at the office.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, we'll do a marathon run.
Okay.
A core marathon.
Just to break records.
Hey, let's call it core nuclear. It's not just a core blast.
It may have a different meaning by then.
Oh man, I'm predicting that, by the way. Anyway, let's not talk about depressing topics, but
well, it's not depressing for our customers.
that is true. Hey,
Mushroom
there is always
clouds.
good news and bad news.
Yes, there is.
The year I'm hearing from
dollar signs.
Yes. And we have already heard from several customers that this year is looking much better than last year. Again, I don't think anyone thrives when it comes to the reason, typically that you see this. Sometimes you see these obviously big growth in our industry, sales increasing.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone likes that, because meaning the reason for it is whether it's political unrest, whether it's war, whether it's a school attack. Nobody likes that, but it is a fact, right? So there's a difference. None of us are celebrating that right now. We're literally in 8 different wars, and we're about to go into Cuba. I don't know if that happened already. I haven't looked at the news in the last few hours. So nobody's thriving. Nobody's excited about this. But it is a fact that this year, because of the unrest, our industry is going to, or one of the main industries that we focus on, obviously the firearms, we're going to see an uptick, a large uptick in sales. So that's fact. Don't plan on that, meaning don't over purchase inventory
At all.
Be smart about it.
Because the
and
crash
not
will
telling
come as
people.
well.
Yes, and
There
we
will
all
be a
know
crash.
that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happens, with a business that sometimes fluctuates due to outside factors, right?
Yeah.
Not just seasonal factors, not just, what might be trending factors, but actual political events and
Right.
current news that affects us. So, so just kind of a veering off to a little bit of a segue, but I think that's an important note. So back to our scenario, the point is the system can be as simple as you want it to be. If you just want to track everyone as individuals, no problem. But if you do business with businesses and you want to track multiple contacts at that business, it will accommodate that too. I guess I could have said that way at the start and it would have been a lot simpler. So I blame you, Joel, for not stopping me sooner and just saying, Ezra, just dumb it down.
I had way too much confidence in you.
Way too much, Joel. You should know better by now.
I had way too much confidence.
You should definitely know better. So just to confuse things even more, you can convert an individual to a business and a business to an individual. Just saying.
Well, that's good because if you mess up, and there will be people that mess up, it's an easy fix.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Nice.
How do we have -1 since the days since contact? I don't even think that makes sense.
I think that's how disappointed the system is in us right now. Corey is communicating with us in some way.
I guess. I just saw that. I'm like, what the hell is -1 day since last contact? -1. That means I contacted them in the future. You know why? Because I'm 12 hours ahead of you.
That's exactly why.
Yeah.
Hey, Corey,
It's
there
not
are different
accommodating.
time zones.
Hey, so literally, the new Coreware platform introduces time travel. Never thought we'd be able to pull that. We did cloning, and we're
Yeah.
doing time travel. How
I think
cool is that, Joel? We're
it's not
living
gonna
in the
be
future
fun.
right now.
It's not going to be fun to live here anymore. It's time to go to Mars. Maybe we could go to Mars yesterday.
Yeah.
Maybe
Let's
my
do that.
clone could go to Mars last week.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
All right.
I think we're not speaking straight right now.
No, I think we're all delirious. So again, I think this was a very good deep dive into our contacts module. For those of you who are watching or still watching, thank you for attending. Thank you for literally the questions that have come through. I know a lot of people will be watching this after the fact, so definitely feel free to reach out to our support to ask any questions within the actual Coreware platform. Just hit the chat right here, and that gets you to our chat system where you can create a ticket and or chat directly with our support. So just make sure you communicate with us. We're excited about the upcoming well, we've already not even upcoming. We're excited about our new platform. There's a lot to it, Joel. There's a lot to it. And it's going to offer even a lot more features as we keep going. So I think it's important for people to learn how to use the system. I don't know. I think that's about it from my end, Joel.
So
What say you?
One more thing. Can you show everyone what they
Sure.
should check on maybe every day or so in regards to help desk articles, help, anything like that? Remember? You said keep checking back.
Yeah, I mean, definitely just keep hitting the graduation cap here. That's our resource center. And when you hit the resource center, you'll actually hopefully start seeing a bunch of guides here starting, I hope, this week and maybe next week, but we're going to start trying to slam through several guides. They'll be shorter type guides, so they won't be complex. They'll be pretty much single tasked. So again, you won't be reading pages and pages and pages or watching a 3-hour video.
Right.
So keep an eye out for the guides, for the tours. Again, checklists. Play around with Ask Corey. That should be providing some level of help. I'm not vouching for it, but Corey's been doing pretty good. We had several examples here today, and robots getting a little smarter. It's just step by step. But check that, and don't forget, if you're using the CRM, right on your dashboard, make sure you always look at your follow-ups that you've got scheduled, so you can make sure to remind yourself. Put in your pipeline. It helps you know what opportunities are right now being worked on. If you have salespeople, if they're talking to potential customers, even in the store, make them put that into a pipeline. Don't let that customer walk out the door with just a verbal conversation. I think that's important.
It will be forgotten if you do.
Well, not only that, they'll step out of your store and go shop you around, and we all know how that goes. But if you keep touching base with them, if you make sure to remind them, look, you may get it cheaper online, but you're going to pay a transfer fee. If you encourage them and say, look, if you've got issues with this, scope that you're buying, that's a high-end scope, sure, you can get it for cheaper, but I can't help service it if you run into an issue. So support local, buy local. There's so many reasons, good reasons to work with your local retail store.
Right.
At the end of the day, everyone likes to get things for cheaper. None of us like overpaying. But if you only think of a purchase as a singular transaction, sure, it's a one-time, one and done, right? But that's not reality. And when you're buying items, especially firearms, accessories, you're spending a lot of money. You're better off building a relationship with your local retailer. They'll get you product that you can easily find. A lot of times they'll get you even better pricing. You don't have to pay shipping. You don't have to pay transfer fees. I mean, I'm speaking to the choir because I know most of our viewers are the retailers, but I think it's important to keep reminding consumers of that. So, I'm me, Joel. I'm big on brick and mortar. There's good reasons for it. So online won't go away, but I love retail. I love going to a store, experiencing that. And that's why if I go to a store, I want someone to give me that one-on-one experience, help me out, and tell me, remind me in a week or two, follow up with me. Hey, Ezra, I know you were looking at that night vision, and what'd you decide? What can we do to get your business?
Totally agree.
Yeah. So CRM, it's a powerful module, and we'll next time we'll talk about a lot of other, not many, but several other features that are in this module. So stay tuned. Joel, parting words.
I just love this song.
And this time we can actually hear it.
And the words make perfect sense.
I don't know what you said.
Grapefruit talking with a power line smile. Core in the rhythm with a barcode dial. Marshmallow suit and a bellhop stare. Where rolls deep in electric air. Left turn jump in a right side groove. Backbeat buzzing like a checkout move. Flamingo moon in a concrete dream. Core said slide, where said stream. Zigzag core in a neon stare. Grooving through the grid with a head full of wear. Baseline bounce and a prism of sound. Core steps up, never backs down. With a customer grin. We're on the mic with a limited spin. Quarter past clean in a digital jam. Cores in motion like a hologram. Sidewalk come with a cash box glow. Where don't stop when the numbers flow. Everything shines when the beat runs tight. Coreware cruising in the pixel light.
I saw a milkshake levitate at the edge of the Ethernet. Coreware, where moonwalk, then the lights blink 12. Forever. Zigzag when the neon zigzag core, eyes wide open. We got style, never broken. Slide the code in a jazz up flare. 1-2 punch from Coreware.
Thank you guys. We'll see you next week. This week, because it's already this week.
Thank you, everyone. It is.